He's cramped there. He's trying to pull that through the square leg region, but it took him on the body. Bounced harmlessly into the offside, and there's no run. Score remains on 14 without loss.
I felt there that he was undone by the lack of height. He was looking for that ball to bounce a lot higher, and he did not. And as a result, he played over that with that horizontal bat. Thomas really felt he had an opportunity to hit a boundary because there is no one back. We're into the power play still. This is only over number 3. And so he felt he missed out on that occasion.
Brown in again to Devon Thomas, and that takes the under edge of the bat. Almost played that back on, played it onto his leg. But thankfully for Thomas, it just trickles out onto the offside. No harm done.
It's almost a restrictive start here by Thomas.
Yes.
He tried to force that ball as if it was an afterthought, because I sense that his inclination here is to bat for a long time. And so we're not seeing that overly aggressive style that we normally see from him.
Brown into Thomas, and that one is forced up to Long Off, who comes in off the boundary. They take a comfortable single. Thomas moves to 2. Score 15 without loss. We're in over number 3. But you're quite right, Jack. And if he has that mindset, he should have that mindset that if he bats the full 20 overs or close enough to it, then Bethesda Golden Eagles will be will have the total that they would have in mind. As we all know what Devon Thomas can do once he gets going. It's Fernandez on strike now to Brown, and he's advancing and hitting that high and wide over the mid-wicket region. Mid-on goes back and picks it up just inside the boundary, but 2 more to Fernandez. He's certainly taking up the challenge, advancing there to the paceman in Brown. So 2 more to Fernandez. He moves on to 13, and the score 17 without loss.
Seemingly the ploy here by Bethesda Golden Eagles is for Jamal Fernandez to fire in the power play session, and for Devon Thomas to play the supporting role, because he needs to bat there and bat for a long period. So that seems to be the strategy being employed here by the Eagles.
Brown in again to Fernandez, and that's driven firmly back past the bowler. The mid-off, who's up in the circle, comes round, does the fielding, no run, completes over number 3. So after 3 overs, Bethesda Golden Eagles are 17 without loss. Fernandez is on 13, and Devon Thomas is on 2.
So by T20 standards, a quiet start, 17 coming from the first 3. And normally in the power play, you want to get in the vicinity of 40 and that sort of score.
Mm-hmm.
So they have 17 from the first 3. They will try to up it a bit to get beyond 40 in the power play, and it will mean that Devon Thomas will have to go as well. It cannot be one batter going if you're going to really exploit the power play period.
True, and Paul Miller will continue from the commentary box end, and he's staying around the wicket to the right-handed Devon Thomas. That's certainly, he's feel he's taken the slip out and put him in a more of a gully position. He's got a backward point, cover, extra cover, mid-off. In he comes to Devon Thomas, and that was a full delivery, and Thomas was never going to miss out on that one. Poor delivery there by Paul Miller, and Thomas has cracked that through the cover region into the boundary for 4. His first boundary of the night. He moves on to 6, and Bethesda 21 without loss in over number 4.
A full toss, and he took full advantage of that ball, smashing it down through the extra cover position.
Miller in again to Thomas, and that was a quicker delivery, appeal for LBW, but it was pitched outside leg. As he's now moved, that gully's got a short third man, and the gully has moved into a short extra cover on the offside. Is Miller into Thomas, and Thomas is turning that nicely through square leg region. Sweeper comes off the boundary, and they take one. Thomas moves on to 7. The score 22 without loss.
So he's playing the quiet supporting role here, Devon Thomas, and we assume that that will work, especially later on, because he has the ability to really blaze because of his talent, because of the rich stroke play he has. And so that's clearly the strategy here.
Miller staying round the wicket, of course, to the left-handed Fernandez this time, and Fernandez is driving him high, straight into the boundary. Good shot, that straight over the mid-off into the boundary for 4. He moves on to 17. The score 26 without loss. We're in over number 4.
Falling just about 2 feet short of the rope there at long off. Powerfully hit by the left-hander.
Miller in again to Fernandez, and that one's a quicker ball, and just watched very carefully there by Fernandez into the keeper's gloves. And there's no run. 26 without loss. And that ploy will work by Devon Thomas as long as he doesn't throw it away. As long as he keeps his head and bats the majority, if not all, of these 20 overs. I'm sure that is the plan. Miller into Fernandez. Fernandez is nudging this towards backward point, who completes the fielding but can't stop the single. So at the end of over number 4, Bethesda Golden Eagles have moved on to 27 without loss. Fernandez is on 18 and Thomas is on 7.
A fraction below 7 runs per over. Not the start that you would really want in terms of the runs, but the opening pair, they're still out there in the middle, and once you have the wickets in hand, you can always make up later on.
Definitely.
So they're hoping here to in the next over get as close as possible to that 40 mark maybe, and look to take it from there.
And we've got a bowling change from the northern end. Peters is coming on to replace Brown.
Orlando Peters has been around for a very, very long time.
Very, very long time.
Yes. And has played for the Hawks in the Hawksville.
Yeah. Spotted by Marlon Samuels, wasn't it?
And in the regional T20 competition.
In he comes from the northern end to Fernandez, and that's short and wide outside at the off stump. But Fernandez just tried to steer that down past the short third man. Doesn't make contact.
Rather lazily, I thought.
Very lazy, yes. He should have a real red-hot go at that, no? It was a nothing delivery.
Yes, I should have lit up.
Loosener, yeah. Nevertheless, Peters turns, runs towards us into Fernandez, and that stroke beautifully past the short extra cover out towards the fieldsman, beats the long off diving effort out there. 4 more to Fernandez. He's starting to look good.
Really a beautiful stroke that was. The timing was superb. When they left the bat, we didn't get the impression that the momentum would have beaten the fielder running around from the long off position, but it certainly did. It wasn't that effort stroke in terms of power, and the timing was the key ingredient in that stroke. Wonderful exhibition.
Score moves on to 31 without loss. Fernandez again, this time beaten. A lack of bounce there, I think.
And I think the pace had him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Lack of bounce, and because it was a faster delivery. He was late on that one.
He's moved on to 22, so 31 without loss. Bethesda Golden Eagles. We're in over number 5. As Orlando Peters at the top of his mark, the northern end. Fernandez is ready for him now as Peters comes up to the wicket. And to this delivery, Fernandez can only defend it back to the bowler, who does his own fielding, and there is no run. So the score remains on 31 without loss in over number 5. And just a reminder, this coverage is brought to you by CSN Community Sports Network, a subsidiary of the Parish League. The studio located on High Street. Live matches can be viewed on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and CTV Channel 8 as Peters into Fernandez, hits it off the outer portion of the bat. It lobbed over the short extra cover, and the long off came up. Did the fielding, restricted the scoring to one. That completes over number 5. So after 5 overs, Bethesda Golden Eagles 32 without loss. Fernandez is on 23 and Thomas is on 7.
Not the power play that perhaps Bethesda Golden Eagles, sponsored by Caribbean Union Bank, will have perhaps be hoping for. Maybe a few more. In fact, they have another ball left. Another ball to come.
Another ball? My apologies. Wow. Nothing happened anyway, Jack.
It was a full length ball outside the off stump, and Devon Thomas tried to play a square drive, and he missed it. He went through to the wicket keeper. By the way, the wicket keeper is KB. Is it KB who is doing wicket keeping duties? I think so. I'll just verify that.
So now we've had 5 completed overs. And Bethesda Golden Eagles 32 without loss. Fernandez is on 23 and Thomas is on 7. And to take you through the next 5 overs ball by ball will come to you courtesy of Jack Matthews.
In fact, it's Kyle KB who is the wicket keeper with number 15 on his back. And I think we're going to have another change at this end with the bowler Miller being replaced. And so it will be Jedediah Martin, who will come into the attack from the commentary box end. Scoreboard showing that. Jedediah Martin, the man who will bowl from the commentary box end. So he's on his way from the southern end, hit high over the top, and he has gone into the boundary at long on. Jamal Fernandez playing through the line, hitting over the top of the fielder at the mid-on within the 30-yard circle. And the ball went very, very quickly for 4 runs. So the attacking style of Jamal Fernandez has continued. He has been the predominant scorer so far. And Devon Thomas, by his standards and his natural inclination, has been rather sedate in the partnership. Score has raced on to 36 for no wicket at the start of over number 6. He's driving. He gets it inadvertently down to the fine leg position. We get 4 more.
Luck's of fortune, Jack.
So they say fortune favors the brave, and he was certainly bravely going at that one, looking to launch himself into another attacking shot over the top. But it got the inside edge and went between the batsman's left pad and the leg stump, and down to the fine leg position. The fielder at fine leg was within the 30-yard circle. It went away to his left. And he just went to retrieve because he could not stop that. He could not retrieve it before he had reached the boundary.
He belted the first one beautifully over the top of mid-on and tried to repeat the shot, but got the inner portion of the bat. But luckily for him, didn't go back onto the stumps. And any bit of bat with a shot like that is always going to beat the short fine leg when he's inside the circle.
So Jedediah Martin, the medium pacer, an adjustment has been made. A fielder has gone back on the boundary at mid-wicket. Fernandez is launching himself into another drive, just skipping outside the line of the leg stump, looking to give himself room so that he could free his arms. But didn't get the timing, nor the acceleration there. And the ball went away towards the wideish mid-on position, and he got a run for it. So he has gone on with that single. He has been the main scorer so far. The score is 41.
Yeah, he's 32.
Yes, he's on to 32. 7 to Devon Thomas. And here's Devon Thomas driving beautifully through the offside, but there's a sweeper at cover, and they'll dart back for the second run. The fielder at that sweep position, just a little bit slow in getting around. And Thomas, very experienced, realized there was an opportunity to come back. And I think that's the observation of the captain as well, because he has pulled the field out of that position. And so he's been quickly replaced, not moving with the alacrity that was required.
It looks like both batsmen, though, fancy the medium pace of Martin.
Jedediah Martin runs away from us, right arm, over the wicket, and Devon Thomas is cracking this, but hits it hard into the ground. And it bounces accommodatingly for the fielder that cover point position inside the 30-yard circle. And so he can't score. He remains on 9, having had a couple of the previous delivery. 43 for no wicket. This is over number 7 in progress. We have already been through this is over number 6 in progress. This is the last one of the power play. There's 2 fielders, one at the sweeper position and the other at long off. Those are the 2 fielders outside the circle. And so
I got a problem with the ball.
The ball, yes, there is some concern about the ball. Umpire Leslie Reefer Jr.
I think they're just checking it, Jack, because when Devon Thomas hit that one, he hit it very firmly into the ground, but he hit it into one of the other wickets on the square. So
maybe the impact twisted it.
Yeah.
So the third umpire has come out. Or is it the fourth umpire? We don't have the television umpire here. 4 umpires usually officiate these days when it comes to international cricket. You have the 2 on the field. You have the one who would do the exchange of balls and that sort of thing. And then
2 on the field, one watching the television, and the other one in the bar. Sorry, and the other one in the grandstand.
Yes. So, I think the ball has been changed, and so Jedediah Martin continues. Right arm over the wicket is in, and Devon Thomas stays it nicely, beautifully, elegantly, down to third man for 4. Oh, that was an exciting bit of work by Devon Thomas. He's a crafty player, and he has a variety of strokes, and he certainly played that one very neatly. Waited on it and played it fine. There's a man or third man inside the circle, and he had no chance. The ball went speedily away to his left and down to the deep third man position for 4 runs. So the scoring rate certainly jumped during that over number 6, and from the power play they have had 47 runs with 13 to Devon Thomas and 32 to Jamal Fernandez. So the power play yielded quite a good score.
Yes. In the end it did, 47, and nothing wrong with that. They'd be happy with that start, and especially the fact that they haven't lost a wicket. But that was very well played, that last delivery of the previous over by Devon Thomas. He just waited on it very nicely and guided it down towards the vacant third man region. So he's moved on to 13. Fernandez is on 32, and Martin's first over went for 15, Jack, and they just looked like as soon as he came on, especially Fernandez, this was the bowler that we were going to attack. That type of mindset you could see. Another change, M. Brown coming on from the northern end.
Yes, Morton Brown is into the attack. So the captain ringing the changes, ball driven down to the long off position. Fielder comes around to his right, and they get only 1. Jamal Fernandez goes further into the 30s. He's on to 33, and the score now on to 48 for no wicket. Over number 7 in progress, 1 ball delivered by Morton Brown. He's a seasoned campaigner in domestic cricket. An all-rounder, can bat, comes in. Looks to be bowling off spin, and this ball is outside the line of the off stump, called wide. Devon Thomas had a go at it, not being able to make contact. Taken by wicketkeeper KB. Crouches behind the stumps now as Morton Brown is in, and this is outside the off stump. Thomas steers it down to third man, and they scurry the run. Little bit of hesitation on the part of Jamal Fernandez, but he eventually got home quite comfortably. Fielder not being able to effect the pickup as perhaps he would have liked. Score now on to 50. The 50 coming up in over number 7. Ball hit away into the mid-wicket region, and they sprint back for the second. Good running with the fielder on the boundary. The ball was played not in a manner which you go quickly into the onside, just guided away, and they came back for the second. 52 the total now in over number 7. 52 for no wicket, and this is driven hard through the ball. It's caught and ball. Yes, it is.
Excellent.
Brilliant catch by Morton Brown. One-handed. I think he took it with his right hand as well. So it was driven in the air by Jamal Fernandez, and there was Morton Brown leaping and clutching the ball with his right hand well above his head. And so that's the end of Jamal Fernandez. He has been caught and bowled by Morton Brown, and he has departed for 30 scoreboard. Very quick in removing his score.
I think it's 35.
Yes, I think that's what I saw.
Yeah, I think it's 35. But he'd be disappointed there, Fernandez, because he was weighting his shots nicely to the spinner in Morton Brown and picking up a couple or at least singles very comfortably. That one, he tried to drive it with power back over the bowler's head. Tall guy, Morton Brown, and he just simply stuck up the right mid, and it stuck. So good wicket there for Jennings Tigers. Gets them into the game. 52 for 1 in over number 7. And Darren Benter has joined his captain, Devon Thomas.
Yeah, so Benter
Big appeal
is in. Loud appeal.
for a caught behind, but not out.
It's ball taken by Kyle Caby, the wicket keeper. But umpire Felix O'Gee says not out. Morton Brown with the wicket. That of Jamal Fernandez comes in outside the off stump, and Benter is cutting, gets it straight to the fielder, and there is no run off that final delivery as well. So the breakthrough effected eventually by the Jennings Tigers, and the score after 7 overs is 52 for 1. 52 for 1. Bethesda Golden Eagles, sponsored by Caribbean Union Bank, with the captain Devon Thomas, who opened the batting with Jamal Fernandez. He's unbeaten on 14, and Darren Benter yet to get off the mark.
Yes, and a good wicket there, good breakthrough for Jennings Tigers to bring them into this semi-final. Of course, on the flip side of that, Bethesda will be happy with the start they got, 40-odd off the power play, and more importantly, Captain Devon Thomas just setting himself up to bat the entire innings here. He's on 14, so a quiet start for him, but he knows he can turn it on as long as he's got partners with him.
So the action continues as Devon Thomas plays it into the onside. They're going back for the second run. The return comes to the keeper's end, and Darren Benter is home. And these two are fleet-footed players, and so we're going to see a lot of this. We're going to see quick running between these two. Jamal Fernandez not as fast between the wickets, and so they will be running helter-skelter, I would imagine. So the bowler is Paul Miller. He's into the attack, and this is driven away down to the sweeper, but they won't come back for the second. The sweeper hustling onto that one and releasing the ball quite early into the gloves of wicketkeeper Caby. So they got only one for that. The score has pushed on to 54 for 1 in over number 8. Over number 8 in progress as Paul Miller comes in, and Devon Thomas is driving into the onside. Just a flick of the wrist, really, and looking for a single. Didn't try to hit that one hard. Wasn't looking for a boundary. And Munsey, the Scottish international, off the boundary at that long-on position to do the fielding. And Devon Thomas is steering this again down to the third-man position. This time, he doesn't have the momentum to go all the way to the boundary, and the fielder at third man running around to his left to pick up only one to Thomas, and the score is now 57 for 1. Jamal Fernandez, the man dismissed for 35, caught and bowled by Morton Brown, and Devon Thomas is speaking at this ball. In fact, it's Darren Benter, and the ball taking the pad, and umpire Leslie Reefer saying not out. Paul Miller bowling around the wicket as he goes away from us in, and this is outside the off stump, and Benter is mistiming that one, and Benter had turned his back thereafter, mistiming that ball in frustration. He turned his back, but the fielder did not pick it up. Had he really been looking, there would have been a single there because the ball went past the fielder at that extra cover position. 8 overs have been completed, and Caribbean Union Bank Bethesda Golden Eagles winning the toss and batting in the second semi-final of the Cool and Smooth T20 explosion here at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds, the home of Cricket West Indies. They're 57 for 1. Devon Thomas on 18 and Darren Benter on 1. Jamal Fernandez dismissed for 35. The winners will go on to play in tomorrow's final against PIC Liberta Blackhawks, qualifying for yet another final in domestic cricket. And they're the defending champions, looking to hold on to the trophy. Outside the off stump, Devon Thomas is cutting it hard down to the sweeper at that cover point position. Only one to the Bethesda Golden Eagles skipper. And the score goes on to 58 for 1 in over number 9. So it's Morton Brown, the wicket taker from the far end. And Benter is cutting down towards the backward point position. Has gone away for 4. Wonderful stroke there. Benter freeing his arms and getting on top of that one, hitting it firmly, finding the gap, and collecting 4 delightful runs. 62 for 1.
Yeah, good boundary there by Benter. Was a little aerial, but beat the backward point. It raced away to the boundary, so he'll be happy with that. His first boundary.
Morton Brown into bolting. We have spin from both ends, and Benter is driving down to long off, and you get only 1. The fielder comes in and sends the return on the bounce to the bowler Brown. It's now 63 for 1 over number 9 in progress as Brown comes in once more, and it's outside the off stump, and there is Devon Thomas, just as if he was surprised by the bounce of that delivery. Suggesting there that he made more height than they anticipated. Brown is into him quickly again, and he's back and cutting this one into the offside down to the backward point area, and the sweeper having to come around and in to collect. Only 1 to the batsman Devon Thomas, and the score has pushed on. We're in over number 9, so we're nearing the halfway point of the innings. Outside the off stump, and Darren Benter is cutting at this ball, goes straight to the fielder at that point position, sweeping, and they get another single. 9 overs have been completed in the second semi-final, and Bethesda Golden Eagles, they have gone on to 65 for 1. 65 for 1. Devon Thomas on 20, and 7 to Darren Benter.
Yes, and another good over there by for Bethesda Golden Eagles. They're basically scoring off every delivery now, and this is the partnership though, Jack. This is the partnership that they'll be relying on mostly to get them to a competitive score between Thomas and Benter. So far they've added 13, but they've maintained a run rate of just above 7. It's currently at 7.2.
Miller, 3 overs for 20 runs, comes in. So this is his last over, and it's clipped towards the wide mid-wicket area, and they get a run for it. Score now pushes on further into the 60s. It's now on to 66 for 1. Over number 10 in progress. Oh, Devon Thomas is hitting this one high in the air. There's a fielder at third man. He takes the catch. Again. And Devon Thomas has given it away yet again. Looking to play across the line of that delivery. And the ball going high in the air to the short third man position. And a comfortable catch was taken. The Caribbean Union Bank Bethesda Golden Eagles captain walks back dejectedly. There was an inclination there to be more subdued tonight, to try and play the ball on its merit, try not to do anything extravagant, but then he lost it again. He played across the line and he paid the price for it. So he's been dismissed for 20, and Bethesda Golden Eagles in over number 10, they are 66 for 2. Devon Thomas dismissed for 20 of the bowling of Paul Miller.
Yeah, big important blow there for the Jennings Tigers. That was the one they were looking for, and as Jack said, it looked like Devon Thomas was setting himself up to bat the full innings. He opened the batting tonight and looked like he was not going to play anything rash, but again, lapse of concentration or for whatever reason, he's thrown it away and opened the door for the Jennings Tigers. They'll be pumped up now. They'll be looking to really run through Bethesda and try and restrict them to something that they feel they can chase.
So the batsman crossed while that ball was in the air, and so the next delivery was delivered to Darren Benter. Number 17 has come in to replace Devon Thomas, and with number 17.
Madani? I think
Number
it's
17,
Madani.
yeah, yes, Modani. So Modani is the man who has come in. Right-hander holds the bat aloft, looks around the field, and there's a slip in place for the new batsman. And Paul Miller, in his last over, goes in to bowl, and this is cracked away and falling maybe just short of the field at that point position. I think it was wrong-footed for a while. He was looking to go to his right, had to go back to his left. But the ball was certainly hit in the end, very, very close to him. And they managed to get a single. So he's off the mark. Modani, he's on one. The score 68 for 2. Over number 10 in progress as Paul Miller continues and cut away nicely down to the sweeper at cover. And there is only one. The ball released very, very early. And one bounce to the wicket keeper. So they'll play, the winners will play Blackhawks tomorrow in the final. Blackhawks making 195 for 4 in the first semi-final tonight. 69 came from the bat of Yuri Smith, but the top scorer was 70, an unbeaten knock from Terence Ward, the Leeward Islands player, driven down the ground by Modani down to George Munsey at long on, and they got a run for it. So we've reached the halfway point. 10 overs have been bowled, and the score is 70 for 2. So they rate just 7th over. They've lost 2 wickets. First, the left-hander in Jamal Fernandez for 35, and then his opening partner in Devon Thomas, the captain, for 20.
Yes, you'd have to say, Jack, there's pretty even Stevens at this stage. 70 for 2 out for 10 overs, going at 7 and over. They've maintained the run rate of about 7 since the start of the innings. But Jennings Tigers will be happy with those 2 wickets, as they would look to put the brakes on even more through this latter part of the innings now that Devon Thomas is out of the equation. But Darren Benter would have other ideas. He's on 10. If he can get set, then anything still possible for Bethesda. Ooh. And that one just took the inside edge, did its rolling down to the boundary. It went past the wicket keeper. No, it was byes. So 2 more to the total. That takes the total up to 72 for 2. Madani is on 2. Benter is on 10 as Madani is on strike. Morton Brown is the bowler from the northern end. He's bowled 2.2 overs so far. 1 for 13. Paul Miller just finished his spell. Not a bad spell either. Kept it tight. 1 for 25 off his 4. And that's chipped in the air and chipped straight to short mid-wicket as Madani falls. Morton Brown's got another one. Munsey takes the catch. And Jennings are just starting to assert their authority here in this second semi-final as Bethesda Golden Eagles lose their 3rd wicket. Madani caught Munsey, bowled Brown for 2. And Bethesda Golden Eagles in the 11th over are 72 for 3.
Certainly deceived by that delivery because he wasn't playing an aggressive shot. He was just trying to just chip the ball into the onside, but chipped it in the air and straight to the fielder. Took that just above his head. George Munsey was always clear that he would hold on to that one. It was a comfortable catch at that straight mid-wicket position. So Mondani not really staying around, and it's a crucial wicket because they've already removed the openers, and so they continue to pick up wickets, and the scoring rate here by Caribbean Union Bethesda Golden Eagles is not really something to shout about so far.
Not at all, as Brown is into the new batsman in Naeem Young, former West Indies under-19s player. He strokes it up to long on to get himself underway, so he moves on to 1. Score 73 for 3 in over number 11. Brown into Benter, and Benter is looking to steer that past backward point. Can't beat the field, and there's no run. Score remains on 73 for 3. You feel Bethesda need a partnership here as he goes for the big hit over the mid-wicket region, clears the ropes for a high net maximum, does Darren Benter. He moves on to 16, the score 79 for 3. And that was a good way to finish a pretty good over there by Morton Brown, who picked up the wicket there of Madani in that over. But a good shot to finish off it. So after 11 overs, Bethesda Golden Eagles 79 for 3. Benter moves on to 16, and Young is on 1.
He's a busy player, instinctively a very attacking batsman, Darren Benter. And once he's out there, the runs are going to flow. And he hits boundaries, he hits sixes. And so the Tigers will be looking to get rid of him as soon as possible. And he has the ability to bat long. He can hit 100 in the remaining overs. That type of play he is. And so if he stays around for a while, they could get a very big score on the board. But if he were to fall, it would be a very, very difficult situation for the Hawks. As we saw in their last match, not the Hawks but the Eagles, they sort of fell away with the demise of their top order batsmen, and so they'll be guarding against that tonight and hope that these two at least will bat deep, and that those to come would be in a position to really accelerate the scoring in the closing overs.
Definitely, because Benter will be the key as young Matthew Miller comes into the attack. And that one is clipped off the legs, ill-directed down leg side by Young. And he picks up his first boundary. So Bethesda starting to move it along now, 83 for 3. We're in the 12th over.
A very good shot there by Young, but it was almost it was a low full toss, but it was very close to a Yorker length delivery. But the timing was superb, the placement was excellent as well.
Miller into you, advancing Naeem Young, strokes that up to a long off for a single. He moves on to 6, the score 84 for 3 in over number 12. Brings the dangerous Benter on strike. These two could do some damage, Jack, if they spend any amount of time at the crease. That one ill-directed again by Miller down the leg side. Wide called by the umpire. So another one to the total. That's 84 for 3. 85, sorry, for 3 in over number 12.
This is very encouraging to have a 13-year-old playing among some of the senior players in Antiguan cricket and Leeward Islands cricket.
Excellent. And that's better delivery there by Miller. Forced into the offside, but can't beat the short extra cover. Is Benter. Score remains on 85 for 3. We're in over number 12.
And looking at him, especially from a distance, you won't think of him as a 13-year-old. In fact, when I saw him first, I did not think that. I later discovered that he was 13. So, really a bright future he has.
Miller in again to Benter, sorry, and Benter is hitting that firmly back past the bowler. Picked up by Munzi at a long on. Restricts the scoring to 1, so Benter moves on to 17, the score 86 for 3.
Benter, they're looking to hit the ball perhaps a little bit too hard, and so he sacrificed the timing. So there was very little timing in that stroke.
Miller into Young, and Young is hitting that backward of point to the sweeper on the fence, who fumbles a bit, but can't restrict. Young thought he could have done a lot more with that. He's moving around at the crease while Miller was coming in. Score goes up by 1, 87 for 3. In over number 12 of this second semi-final between Jennings Tigers and Bethesda Golden Eagles, as Miller into Benta, and that one struck firmly. Long off comes around nicely, does the fielding, restricts it to 1, and that completes young Matthew Miller's first over. So at the end of over number 12, we had 12 overs. Bethesda Golden Eagles at 88 for 3, with Benta on 18 and Young on 7.
He has an air of confidence about it, Matthew Miller. And we're getting an impression that he bowls a heavy ball. A 13-year-old running in, and the shots both batsmen are playing are suggesting here that he bowls a heavy ball. So they haven't been able to time it as well as they would have liked. A lot of the balls were hit down the ground. So he's not afraid to go up, but he has the confidence to go up in their arc. And so far, he restricted both batsmen who are genuine hitters of the cricket ball.
Definitely. Now looks like a change from the northern end. Who's that, Jack, coming in? Orlando Peters is going to bowl his second over. So he's back. He'll be bowling to Darren Benta. Peters running in from the northern end here at Coolidge. And that one, full delivery. Stroked nicely through the cover region. Cover point sweeper comes off the fence. Restricts it to 1. So 1 more to Benta. He moves on to 19. Bethesda Golden Eagles 89 for 3. And we're in over number 13.
And the Matthew Miller over, he was hit first ball for 4, but then the remaining 5 deliveries went for singles.
Yes. 9 off his first over. Orlando Peters into Naeem Young, full delivery and forced up to long on just for the single. So Young moves on to 8, and the score 90 for 3 in over number 13.
But still, the platform is here for them to get a big score, because they have the batsmen out there in the middle and a few to come that can really hit it over the top.
Peters has beaten Benta there outside the off stump, fuller delivery. Score remains on 90 for 3. Yeah, very important partnership, this one, though. They've already put on 18. They can now stay together right through these next 7.5 overs. It'll put Bethesda Golden Eagles in good shape, you'd feel. Shorter ball, and he was through the shot before the ball got to him, was Darren Benta. So as we speak, Benta falls, caught and bowled by Orlando Peters, who outfoxed him. Benta goes for 19. Bethesda Golden Eagles lose their 4th wicket. They're 90 for 4 in over number 13. You'd have to say well bowled to Orlando Peters, Jack.
Clever bowling by Orlando Peters. The change of pace, and he did it earlier. And because he knows that the batsman, Darren Benta, is instinctively an attacking player, he's going to go at him, and he's going to use variation. And that one was a slow delivery, did not pick it. And so, as you said, he was through the stroke before the ball had arrived, and only succeeded in lobbing it back to the ball. And the bowler, Orlando Peters, said, "Thank you very much." And so he accepted a simple return catch. And those are factors that our players need to really look out for. You know, the variation, and just don't go by your instinct, but to watch the ball as closely as possible. And had he been doing that, he would have realized that it was a slow delivery. But he went into the pull shot right away, and he paid the price.
Okay, so Kenjigi has joined Naeem Young at the crease. Orlando Peters has brought Munzi back into slip, taking him out of the short mid-wicket region. I still feel they need some sort of partnership here, Bethesda, as Peters is into Kinjigi, who's clipping that nicely off his toes up to mid-on, who's now inside the circle for one, gets him going. Score goes up to 91 for 3 in over number 13.
Earlier on, you said with justification that the Eagles look to be the better team on paper, and many would give them the edge. But we must also consider, and we must also relate to the fact that Jennings Tigers are unbeaten so far in the competition. They have not lost a match.
Yes, they've sort of flown under the radar a bit, haven't they? Jennings Tigers, but you're quite right. They haven't lost a match.
They had 2 wins and that rained out
and
fixture.
They rained out, yeah. That completes Orlando. Peters is over. So we've had 13 overs and Bethesda Golden Eagles 91 for 4 with Naeem Young on 8 and Kinjigi on 1. So they'll be looking to really turn it on, especially Naeem Young here in this semi-final. In the last 7 overs remaining of the Bethesda innings to try and post a challenging score here for Jennings. Looks like another change.
Yeah, going at 7 per over is something that they would want to improve and improve very, very quickly indeed. But they're losing wickets and they're losing key wickets. So it's almost a catch-22 situation facing them.
Jediah Martin back into the attack from the commentary box end, and the first delivery is steered down to third man for a single by Kinjigi. He goes on to 2. Score 92 for 4 in over number 14.
And that, to some extent, may just delay the decision to go hard, because at some point they're going to have to go hard.
Yeah.
And if they're going to continue to lose wickets, they're going to have to think about that. They're going to have to consider if we're going to go too hard and then get bowled out. So those factors need to be considered.
In again to an advancing Naeem Young. He beats the short extra cover, takes the single. He moves on to 9. A score 93 for 4. Jediah Martin back into the attack. He bowled 1 over previously, which went for 15. He's at the top of his mark now as he runs into Kinjigi. And Kinjigi is hooking that straight up in the air, and for some reason the short fine leg must have lost it in the lights. He's saying that to his teammates that he didn't see it. It just lobbed in the air. He took a couple of paces forward and then just stopped. Let the ball bounce. The batsman took the single, said thank you very much. And 94 for 4.
Yes, he obviously lost sight of that because he just stood up.
Martin in again to Young, and that is clipped nicely straight down to fine leg into the boundary. 4 runs, too easy. Full down leg side that time by Martin. He hasn't had the best of nights, but he'd be very, very disappointed with the previous delivery before that one that should have been caught, should have been taken. But however, Bethesda Golden Eagles roll on to 98 for 4, and Young is up to 13.
Certainly not having the best of nights. His first over 15 runs came from it. Had an opportunity here to break the partnership, and the fielder losing sight of the ball, and the next delivery was clipped away for 4. So he must be saying, well, I need to change this. I need to change what's happening here. But he's persisting.
Martin in again to Young, and Young moved right across his stumps there. Took him on the pad, but high and outside the line of off, I'd say. Leg by call by the umpire, so the score goes up by 1. Bethesda Golden Eagles 99 for 4. We're in over number 14. Jediah Martin in again, this time to Kinjigi, and Kinjigi is cutting that, beats the diving backward point. He gets a hand to it though. It's tidied up there by the third man on the boundary. So they just take the single off the last ball. The 100 comes up for the Bethesda Golden Eagles. So after 14 overs, Bethesda Golden Eagles are 100 for 4. Young on 13, Kinjigi on 4, and of course this is the second semi-final of the Cool and Smooth T20 Explosion for 2022. The winner will meet the defending champions, the Alberta Blackhawks, who beat the Rising Sun Spartans in the first semi-final tonight by some 52 runs.
50 runs.
50 runs. Exactly 50 runs. They put up 195 for 4 and then restricted Rising Sun Spartans to 144. The ground staff are getting ready. Could be a bit of a rain around, gentlemen. And at the moment,
that's the forecast that we may have a sprinkle or two. We may have but I don't think it would be of major concern.
And he's got another one caught and bowled as Martin. Morton Brown. That's his second caught and ball for the night. This one a bit more difficult. He had to dive forward, but it was just knocked back to him from Kinjigi. Takes the wicket. Bethesda Golden Eagles lose their 5th. They're in a spot of butter here, Jack. In the 15th over, 100 for 5. Kinjigi is gone, caught and bowled. Morton Brown for 4.
And again, he has deceived the batsman. We saw him having a return catch, wonderful return catch above his head to dismiss Jamal Fernandez, and now having a return catch, this time having to dive forward and taking it inches from the ground to dismiss Kinjigi. And so as the wickets fall, the demand is certainly increasing for the Eagles to rise to a big score here tonight. And we can say right now that the opposition, they are on top. We can say that they are on top.
They are on top, most definitely. Half the side gone, only 100 on the board. We're getting down to the business end of the innings. Who's come out now? Gavin Tong will face Morton Brown, and that one is stroked nicely by Tong back past the bowler, up to long off for 1. He's underway.
Over 20 years ago, I saw Gavin Tong hit 100 against St. Kitts. It was a blistering assault on the St. Kitts team in the Leeward Islands Cricket Tournament.
Brown this time is cut away by Naeem Young to the sweeper out on the cover point boundary. Take the single. Jennings Tigers and Morton Brown will not mind this. 102 for 5.
But I think that he's a shadow of that sort of player now.
20 years is a long time, Jack.
Yes.
That one defended into the offside by Young.
That was my estimation, that in terms of the years, but could be around that 18. Time travels very, very quickly. I think it's about that. I think maybe even more.
He's
but
taking
he has
a
been
big
around
heave
for
at that
ages.
one. Takes the inner edge of the bat. Rolls down to the fine leg region. The short fine leg is inside the circle. He retrieves it. Just another single. So Tong moves to 2. Score 103 for 5. We're coming to the end of over number 15 as that's knocked nicely into the mid-wicket region for another single to Naeem Young to complete the over. So after 15 overs, Bethesda Golden Eagles are 104 for 5 with Young on 15, and he's the key, I'd say. Tong is on 2. Can they, with the last 5 overs, get a score on the board that they feel that they can defend? Because at the moment, the undefeated Jennings Tigers are certainly restricting them and well on top at the moment. And just a reminder, this coverage of the Cool and Smooth T20 is made possible by CNN Community Sports Network, a subsidiary of the Parish League, with studio located on High Street. Live matches can be viewed on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and CTV Channel 8. Along with live studio shows, follow the network for all your live local sporting action. As Martin will continue from the commentary box end, and he's bowling to Young. To this delivery, Young is hammering that through the cover region. The sweeper comes off the boundary. They look for two, and that is excellent running between Young and Gavin Tong. Two more to the score. Young moves up to 16. Score 105 for 5, and we're in over number 16.
Yes, and we saw there the spell of Martin Brown coming to an end. 3 for 24 from his 4 overs. So Jedediah Martin, contrasting, he has been hit about. Here is a ball hit high in the air, down towards the mid-wicket area. The fielder comes around, takes a catch. And another wicket falls for the Eagles. Oh, they're really falling. They're descending at this time. They're not ascending at all. So the Eagles are in trouble with the fall of that wicket. They are now 106 for 6. 106 for 6 with the demise of that player for the Eagles.
Yeah, Naeem Young gone for 17. Another big wicket there picked up by the Jennings Tigers, and you'd have to say they're all over the Bethesda Golden Eagles at the moment. That ball was a wide delivery outside the off stump, and instead of going through the offside, Naeem Young tried to drag it through the mid-wicket region, caught the upper portion of the bat, and the fielder did very well there in Paul Miller, was it? I think. Running back from backward square leg, and took it over his shoulder. So excellent, well-judged catch. They've lost their 6, so this is trouble as Martin comes to the crease to join Tong. Anthony Iroots, we know he can hit a ball.
And he showed that in the last match. He hit a mighty 6.
He top scored, didn't he? I think in the last match with 19.
So he stands at the non-striker's end now. And this ball is driven into the offside. Well, into the onside. He was looking offside, Gavin Tong. But ball ended up at long on, where George Munsey is positioned. And they got a single for it. Will these two veterans of Bethesda and Antiguan cricket do something special? They've been around for a long time. Both have played for the West Indies. One at the test level and the other at the one international level. Yeah. Gavin Tong, as a fast bowler, played a solitary test in Australia.
In Perth, I was there, Jack.
Yes, many moons ago. Ball hit in the air.
Oh,
and he's caught it. He has caught it brilliantly.
What a catch.
Anthony Martin is out.
First ball.
Oh, that's a brilliant catch.
That is a great catch. Low to the ground. It was a grassy. He dive forward, hit with power, and took it both hands cleanly. And why not lift the man up?
So it was James Africa who took it.
Excellent.
Brilliant catch. Anthony Martin driving hard in the vicinity of extra cover, and the ball was dying on the field, and Jaheim Africa went down very low, dived forward and clutched the ball inches from the ground. Brilliant effort to dismiss Anthony Martin. No top scoring tonight.
No.
He has been dismissed first ball. And the wheels are really, I should say the wings are falling off of the Eagles right now. They're 107 for 7. And this is over number 16 in progress. I remember saying earlier they would have to determine when they would go hard. They're in danger of being bowled out now with 7 wickets down. And this is over number only 16.
Yeah, and I think it all stems around Devon Thomas. He threw his wicket away, and that started the collapse. He was obviously had it in mind that he subdue himself and bat through the 20 overs. There doesn't seem to be a plan B, because none of these guys, all right, they're bowling heavy balls and everything like that, and it is night time under the lights. But none of these guys have got their time at all tonight, Jack.
Certainly. So Jedediah Martin gets success. He runs in, and it's a ball which takes the batsman on the pad. Maybe there was a little bit of bat. There wasn't an appeal, but the ball trickled into the leg gully area. And so they now, I think, just batting to survive at the moment, because with 7 wickets down, they're down to the low order of this Bethesda Golden Eagles batting. He's beaten outside the line of the off stump. the batsman who was coming there, just trying to pick up the identity of the batsman who was coming to join Gavin Tong.
Thomas.
So another Thomas in the
Timo
Thomas has come out to join Gavin Tong, and really these two will have to go, I think, for the rest of the overs to actually make sure, because once 8 wickets are down, anything can happen, and you find yourself being bowled out under the 20 overs for a paltry score in a semi-final.
But they need to tell themselves that they just get as many as they can, whether it comes in singles or twos. If they can't get the boundaries, fair enough, because runs on the board is still runs on the board. So they've still got 4 overs, 24 legitimate deliveries. If they can say to themselves, we get at least one a ball, another 25, 30, you're looking at around 100 and 135, 140. You never know.
Yeah. So we're watching as this ball is hit high in the air,
not
goes
like
down
that.
to the third man fielder, another chance for a catch, and he's dropped. Oh, he was a little bit casual there, maybe overconfident, and he was waiting on it. The fielder in that position, just trying to pick up the fielder.
Adrian
Barron on the edge of the circle there at third man. He waited forever, and when the ball came, he stretched out both hands and it fell through his hands, and a chance has gone a begging. Was it Gavin Tong who played that?
Yeah.
Yes. So chance for Gavin Tong. So Timmy Thomas will now face the bowler who is operating from the far end, and it's turned away down towards the backward square position for a single by Thomas, and the score will go on to 109 for 7, and the bowling operation is Brown. Brown is back into the attack, started the bowling from that very end, the northern end of the Coolidge Cricket Grounds, the home of Cricket West Indies, as Caribbean Union Bank, Bethesda Golden Eagles falter here. They're falling. The Eagles are falling from the sky. Here is a ball from Brown. It's hit by Gavin Tong over the top.
Is out there.
And
no,
it has gone for 6. So Gavin Tong felt that he had enough on it. He didn't really look as if the fielder had a chance. He just hit that, and he was looking to take strike again. It was hit with authority by Gavin Tong. He can hit the ball a distance.
Definitely.
So showing that he still has even flashes of that old form.
And that was a good strike, and it could be a wicket they'll rule with Barron, just being a bit casual, as you said, Jack.
Kenroy Brown is into him, and Gavin Tong is going hard at this ball. It goes down to the third man position, and a sprawling save by the fielder who was the culprit early on, Adrian Barron.
But that was the commitment that he should have put into taking the catch.
Yes, he was scurrying around to his left there, almost behind the wicket keeper, and he made the save inside the 30-yard circle. They got only a single for it, so Gavin Tong is off strike. It's 116 for 7. Number 9 batsman in Timo Thomas is now facing the bowling of Brown, and he'll get a single as he tucks the ball away towards the forward square leg position. They come back for the second. Yes, they come back, and good running between these two. So it was just a gentle nudge into the onside towards the square leg umpire, and they knew right away there was an opportunity because the fielder was way back on the boundary at square leg, and so a lot of acres to cover, and they darted back for the second run. So they'll be looking to play it smart here in the closing overs. This is over number what? Number 18 in progress?
17.
Number 17 in progress. So still 3 to come. Pushed away into the offside. No run on this occasion for Timo Thomas. Over number 17 has come to an end. And Caribbean Union Bank, Bethesda Golden Eagles, winning the toss and deciding to take first strike in the second semi-final of the Cool and Smooth T20 explosion here at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds. They're 118 for 7 with Gavin Tong on 11 and 3 to Timo Thomas.
Yes, and that was good running between the wickets, and Tong already smacked the 6, so that's what they'll be looking for. They'll still believe they can get up to, 140 plus. And as I say, you never know. That could be challenging enough, Jack. Runs on the board, semi-final pressure, scoreboard pressure. They'll be thinking along those lines, as long as you say, they don't get bowled out. It's very important that they bat these remaining 3 overs to give themselves every possibility in this match.
And Gavin Tong will be looking to play it smart. He'll be looking to use all his experience. So here is Orlando Peters pitching from the far end, now bowling from the commentary box, and he hits it hard. And I think he's going to clear the field. He does. 6 runs to Gavin Tong. So he still has that punch. Oh, he hit that one very, very hard indeed. It was a shortish ball, and he really hit that one powerfully from outside the line of the off stump. He's a tall man, and he got underneath that one, and he smacked it over the fielder, Muncie, at long on for 6 runs. Orlando Peters strides into bowl to him once more. Ball well up, and he's driving into the offside through the extra cover.
The hamstring's gone.
Oh, yes.
The hamstring's gone.
Wow. That's bad news. That's bad news.
Very, very bad.
It's not their tournament. It's not their tournament at all.
It's not happening, but he's in a lot of pain, is Gavin.
Yeah.
And you could see it go as he pushed hard to run that first one quickly.
I wonder if he's going to stay on. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult to make strokes as well. No, he's not going to be able to run.
Yeah, he's going to stay on, though.
Yeah, he's going to fight the pain.
That's very brave, but how much will it restrict the scoring, as you say, though, Jack? Because these blows that he's dealing are very, very important blows, which is why that drop.
And another factor, if they were to win, he would miss the final tomorrow.
Well, that's true, too. Maybe stay up all night and keep it warm, you reckon, Jack? So he doesn't miss the final.
At his age, I doubt it. I doubt it. No, I doubt he'll be able to. Driven into the offside, and he's hobbling up. Will he be able to make it? He does.
Now that's pretty poor fielding, though.
Yeah, but that's a change that the ICC has made that I'm never in agreement with, and probably will never be.
No, ridiculous.
Yes, because it's obviously clear that he pulled the hamstring.
Right, and it's nothing deliberate.
Right,
it happened in the match. Yeah. So why?
I can understand when players are going to fake injuries and so on, but when it's absolutely clear, as is the case now, you should permit a runner.
Definitely.
Here is Orlando Peters into Gavin Tong outside the line of the off stump, and he's impeded.
Intelligent bowling.
Yes. Yeah. So he knows that impediment is there, and so Orlando Peters put it outside off stump.
If you come in to a match with an injury or a slight injury, and you aggravate that injury, okay, I can understand that. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with you. You should be allowed a runner.
Yeah. Orlando Peters is in, and Gavin Tong whips it into the onside. This time it's going to be run out, yes.
Hard luck, Gavin, but well done. Great courage.
Yes, so Gavin Tong has been run out. He was really looking to take charge out in the middle, and Bethesda Golden Eagles needed him tonight more than ever. They really needed his contribution, his 6 hitting ability, but that has been snuffed out by a hamstring injury, and ultimately his demise by the run out route. 126 now for 8 over number 18 in progress, and they're running the risk here of being bowled out.
Yeah, they've still got 13 legitimate deliveries to go, and also that injury to Gavin Tong, not only obviously bad for the man himself, but you could probably say that 15 to 20 runs short because of what he could have provided with the way he was striking the ball.
The first ball, the next ball, which turned out to be the last ball of the over, was played into the offside, and no run resulted from it. So we've had 18 overs completed, 18 overs gone. And Caribbean Bank Bethesda Golden Eagles are now 126 for 8, 126 for 8. Kelvin Pittman, the man who has come out. And so he will be on strike. Timmy Thomas is unbeaten on 3, unbeaten on 4. So the question is, how many more runs can they get? Will they be able to survive? What should be the ploy of the fielding side right now? Should they look to attack? What should be the ploy of Jennings? I think they're gonna try and.
I think Jennings should just
restrict
bowl
them
at the
and
stumps.
let them go.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens here. As Brown is in, and here's a ball played, a chance for a run out. The ball played to the pole, thrown to the bowler's end, and there was Timmy Thomas having to scurry back into his ground. Kelvin Pittman played the ball into the offside, down to the backward point area, and wasn't at all interested in going for a run.
He wasn't even. He was watching the ball.
Yes, and there was Thomas running down looking for the single. For more than one reason, to put another run on the board and also to gain the strike. But Pittman wasn't aware. Here is Brown into bowl tip, and he's slashing and missing outside the off stump, trying to hit that on the drive, hitting on the up, but not being able to make contact.
But this is not good game awareness that we talk about, though, Jack. I mean, all he needs to do is lay bat on ball and take off, and try and get Thomas back on strike. That ball, as you say, he's trying to hit on the up, trying to hit too hard. He's not a batsman. So any run, any extra run, are vital at this stage when you've only got 120 order on the board.
So here is Brown into bowl him, and he's driving and missing again outside the line of the off stump. Late on that stroke, and so we have a succession of dot balls now, and that's what Bethesda would not want. 126 for 8. Every chance of getting up to that 140 mark is evaporating with each dot ball that is bowled. Kenroy Brown, now in the course of his last over, he is at 3.3, none for 23. Comes in now, and it's clipped away. They'll get a single this time, and Timmy Thomas scurries to the striker's end with a sense of relief, because a ball has not been bowled as the previous ones, and will go down as a dot ball because they got a single for it. But and significantly, he's on strike.
Yeah. It brought Thomas back onto strike, and it was also nicely played, though, Pittman. He just turned it. He didn't try to belt the stitches of it.
127 for 8. 2 balls left in over number 19 outside the off stump, and Thomas is playing and missing. But this is intelligent bowling as well.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yes, he's bowling outside the line of the off stump. He realized very, very early that they're not being able to handle these full-length deliveries outside the line of the off stump because of the lack of foot movement. They're essentially tail-enders, lower the batsmen. And so he's just living outside the line of the off stump with the same length, the same line, and it's proving to be very, very beneficial for the Jennings Tigers. Here is Brown once more, again outside the off stump, and again it's a play and miss situation for the Eagles.
So just the one of the over.
One of the 19th over. Something that is perhaps unheard of, if you will.
Yeah,
but it's certainly not the norm. Probably it has happened before. Maybe even a maiden has been bowled as the 19th over in a T20 match. But those are rare situations. Normally it's helter-skelter in the closing over. It's 127 for 8, 1 over to come. And will they be able to get into the 130s and even smash 1 or 2 and get up to 140?
Yeah, they need.
Just have to wait and see.
They definitely need a couple of boundaries off this last 6 deliveries.
But they're going up against Orlando Peters, and he has been very, very clever tonight. 3 overs he has bowled. And this is driven, and he half stops the ball. Goes down to the long off position. So 1 to Pittman, it looks like. Yes, so Pittman gets 1 more, and with that single he goes on to 2, and the score now 128 for 8.
Very important here, though. If they can't find the fence, at least get something off every delivery.
Yeah, the scoring rate just above 6 for over, far from the requirement. And here is Thomas playing this one down to the sweeper at cover, but they get only one. So the runs are coming in singles, and they would love for the boundaries and the sixes to be flowing at this point. But that's not the case for Bethesda Golden Eagles. 129 for 8 as Orlando Peters turns the loss, and they look to go in to bowl. He has had 1 for 18. This is his fourth and final over, the final over of the innings.
Well bowled.
And he's playing outside the off stump and missing. Trying
Slow
to
ball.
carve it into the onside and deceived by the slow delivery. Orlando Peters, played for the Leewards. Another important member of this Jennings Tigers lineup. All-rounder, showing his all-round ability. He runs away from us, goes past umpire Leslie Reefer, and the batsman is driving. A chance for a run out. The ball is thrown to the wrong end. There was Orlando Peters at the bowler's end. Had the field at point realized that the non-striker was charging up the pitch and had already reached the point almost of no return. Had to put the brakes on and he scurried back. The return went to the keeper's end, to Kyle Cabey, and by the time the relay came, the batsman had recovered. He had regained his ground. So we have, 2 balls left in the innings. 129. He's swinging at this ball. Doesn't get hold of it. It goes back along the pitch. Playing too early.
Yep.
Playing too early. So
But he's been very crafty tonight, though, Orlando.
he has. And he has managed to deceive the batsman because it's just about the same action.
Mm-hmm.
There doesn't seem to be a variation in terms of his action. He doesn't seem to be slowing up in delivering the ball. So he has managed to marshal that very, very well. Goes in now with the final delivery, Orlando Peters. He goes in, bowls final ball, and is tempted whack.
Too good.
Ball beats the bat, ends the over, and ends the innings. So Caribbean Union back Bethesda Golden Eagles opting to bat in the second semi-final of the Cool and Smooth T20 explosion. Here at the Coolidge Cricket Grounds, finishing on 129 for 8. 129 for 8. And it means that the Jennings Tigers will need 130 to claim a spot in tomorrow's final against the PIC Liberta Black Hawks. And they're odds-on favourites to do so because they have the players. They have George Munsey, who has been very successful so far in the tournament. He will open the batting, and with his ability and the likes of Orlando Peters and even Morton Brown and these guys, the Paul Millers, etc., they should be able to pull this one off. It will just take some concentration on their part as they look to overhaul the score of 129. They'll have to bowl outside. They'll have to bowl outside of the ordinary to really pull this one off, the Eagles, because 130 in a T20 match, certainly you would fancy getting that any time in conditions that we have tonight, with the pitch playing well, fast outfield, and you don't have the psychological barrier of chasing a big score. I think they should be able to pull this one off. But we're talking a game of cricket, and anything can happen. They'll still have to go and get the score. So we will now just ask Vernon Springer to come on and direct proceedings.
Yeah, let Jack and Terry get themselves organized and get their meal, get themselves organized. Just to give you a very quick update in terms of the scorecard for the action. Caribbean Union Bank Bethesda would be more or less disappointed in the final analysis of the score tonight. And as you heard from Jack and Terry, not a very good display at all. And I think one of the tough things that you would have seen tonight would have been the man himself, Gavin Tong, more or less pulling up in terms of what's going on. So I'm just going to give you an idea of the scorecard The target is going to be 130. They need 130 to win. And so, just give you an idea in terms of what's happening. Devon Thomas caught Cameron Miller, bowled Paul Miller for 20. Jamal Fernandez caught and bowled Morton Brown for 35. Shushant Mondani caught George Munson, bowled Morton Brown for 2. Naeem Young caught Paul Miller, bowled Jadesha Martin for 17. Nordish Kaniji caught and bowled Martin Brown for 4. Gavin Tong run out Paul Miller for 18. Anthony Martin caught Jaime Africa, bowled Martin without scoring. The bowling scorecard for Jennings Tigers: Kenroy Bong, 4 overs, no maidens, 24 runs, no wicket. Yes. 4 overs, no maidens, 24 runs, no wicket. Paul Miller, 4 overs, no maidens, 25 runs, 1 wicket. Orlando Peters, he finished his spell off with 1 for 19. Yeah, 1 for 19. Orlando Peters. Jadesha Martin, 3 overs, no maidens, 26 runs, 2 wickets. Morton Brown, 4 overs, no maidens, 24 runs, 3 wickets. Let me repeat again. And he really kind of mesmerized the Caribbean Union Bank Bethesda batters. 4 overs, no maidens, 24 runs, 3 wickets. And young Matthew Miller bowled 1 over, no maiden, 9 runs, no wicket. In terms of the fall of wickets, Jamal Fernandez, he was the first to go after sharing an opening partnership of 52. So they lost the first wicket at 52. The second at 66, Devon Thomas. The third of Shushant Mondani. And then we had the fourth of Darren Benter. Kaniji at 5 for 100, 6 for 106. Naeem Young, 7 for 107. Anthony Martin, and Gavin Tong was the final batsman to get out. He was run out. So the stage is set, and let me just take some time out to let you know they will need 130 to win. Timo Thomas was left not out on 5. Kelvin Pittman was left not out on 2, and Orlando Peters, he really bowled with good control, the captain of this team, and all to play for now. So we wait and see what's going to be happening in the second part of this game. It's now 8:49 here in Antigua and Barbuda. And when you look at the Caribbean Union Bank Bethesda batting display tonight, this could still be a good game. You got to take into consideration they have the likes of people like Anthony Martin, who can bowl well. But the dark horse in this team here so far, and you got to really pay attention to them, as Jennings Tigers. They're quietly going about their business so far in this competition. So you got to keep your minds open and focus on anything that is possible. 130 is what they will need to win. On behalf of the Cool and Smooth organizing committee and organizers, we just want to be able to salute the sponsors: Pineapple Beach Club, Supreme Security, Kennedy's Club Limited, Stonewall Reloaded, Antigua and Barbuda Cricket Association, Images Design, Signs and Impressions, Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority, St. John's Development Corporation, Antigua and Barbuda Port Authority, Hadid Motors, APOA INET, Tropical Shipping, Cricket West Indies, Antigua and Barbuda Festivals Commission, and Global Bank of Commerce. One can't forget, but at least make sure that we remember that covering of the Cool and Smooth T20 is made possible by the Community Sports Network, CSN, a subsidiary of the Parish League, with their studios located on High Street, where you'll be able to get live matches which can be viewed on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and also Channel 8 on CTV, along with live studio shows followed the network for live local sports. So I want to thank Taddy Arundel, Mark Charles, and all of the folks, Kerry White and company, who have made this coverage here possible. The coverage also is being aired on Platinum FM 97.9 and also on the Cool and Smooth YouTube channel page. So this game is not over by a long shot. You have Kelvin Pittman, Timo Thomas, and Naeem Young. So Devon Thomas himself, he can come and bowl a couple of overs, but you can't rule out somebody like Anthony Martin. So Jennings they're gonna really, if they want to get into the final, they're gonna have to play some smart cricket. It's gonna be interesting to see which team turns up tonight, which bowling unit turns up. For the Caribbean Union Bethesda Golden Eagles, Coach John Archibald quietly having a discussion or just looking in, just waiting for everybody's attention to get into the circle. And we look over on the left side of us, we'll know that there's Munson, and somebody will be coming out. Most likely it will be KB. We don't know if they will change that lineup tonight. Those are the two that came in the last game. We have a situation here where the crowd has turned out nicely, and this is going to be an exciting game. The winner will clash with PIC Insurance Liberta Blackhawks. Still a spot to play for. 20 overs to go. 120 balls. They need 130 singles. Don't think it can get any easier than that. And that's the simplest form that I think that I can break it down. So, good positive cricket is what is going to be required tonight. And the approach here from these two is going to be pretty careful. So, let's see what's going to be happening. Looks like it's KB and Munson coming out. Muncie. And or it might be Adrian Barron. We're going to wait and see. We'll pay attention. More looks like the keeper KB. Something that they look like they will be continuing with. And so we'll pay attention to see in terms of what's happening. Left and right combination. Moving out for the Jennings Tigers. And Kyle KB, the wicketkeeper, he will be opening the batting. Flagman is here with the cool and smooth flag. And who will be starting? Let's see what's going to be happening. Is it Kaniji? Looks like it will be the left arm spinner Kaniji. So Devon Thomas starting with spin. This is going to be a very important game. They need 130 to win if they want a spot in the final. Jennings Tigers, Caribbean Union Bank Bethesda, led by Devon Thomas. They would also want to get into the final. So two teams. It's now down to two. Yeah, started with 8, and we're now down to 2. The final 2. And we're looking just for one more team to get into Saturday's final. All to play for. Thomas starting at first slip. Left arm spinner in Kaniji, who start from the CIUN. You have a long on, short mid wicket, short fine leg, slip, a backward point, and a cover. Munson comes quietly forward. He can't score. It's going to be interesting to see what his approach is going to be like. Last game that he played, he captured the man of the match for Jennings Tigers with a 57, 39 balls, 49 minutes, 9 fours and 1 6. He's from Scotland, and he strikes a ball. Here is him sweeping, reverse sweep, thinking about a single but changed his mind. So switch it came out there very quickly from Muncie. Misfield didn't really cost Naim Young anything. Here goes Kaniji. Kenny's going for the switch hit. Beautiful shot. Bisected both fielders and down to the boundary for 4. Both Timo Thomas and Naim Young. And this is something I sure that Munson would have practiced for so many hours. He just kept practicing on that switch hit. And boundary to Jennings Tigers, and Muncie is off the mark very quickly. 4 without loss. Everybody quiet. There's just a lull around in terms of what's going to be happening. Ken, he's going for that. He's out caught. He's out caught. Devon Thomas has pulled off a screamer. What is he waiting for? He's questioning. Let's see. Is the umpire? They're having a conversation. So let's see what's going to be happening. He's waiting. But I think the catch was taken cleanly by Devon Thomas. He's now saying to Devon Thomas that the ball bounced before. The umpires having a conversation. Let's wait and see what's happening. O'Geese is going to come back into position. And is it not out? Well, according to the umpires, Leslie Reefer would have been saying that. So we wait for a little while. Here is Muncie driving inside out all the way for INET maximum. So just for a moment we thought we had a catch, but the umpire Leslie Reefer thought that Thomas the ball would have bounced in front of him. 10 without loss. Wait for a little while as we look again as Kaniji comes in now. The ball to Muncie. Again he switch it in again. And down to the boundary for 4. Gone pass. Naeem Young. Yes, Terry has just got himself organized and fed his face. Welcome back, Terry.
Thank you, Vernon. Good evening. Good evening to all our listeners and viewers.
I need to win something from you, but you're not in a betting mood tonight.
I'm very wary about betting against you.
you are. 14 without loss. Terry, the action happening here.
Action is happening. I had a chance in the first over I saw. At early wickets will be the key for Bethesda to get themselves back into this match.
I don't know. They batted poorly. And
They
so
did.
I don't know if they're going to be able to find Anthony Martin is going to have to come up with something special.
Most definitely. And we know what he can do. So
I think that Kyle KB will have a torrid time against Anthony Martin. The experience, the guile. He's played for the West Indies A team. He comes in now to bowl to KB. KB's just whipping this one beautifully. And thinking about coming back for 2. No. Again, the hesitation. The running himself. But in the end, they get the wicketkeeper not tidying up there. In fact, it ricocheted
hit
over the
stump.
But Devon Thomas should have done a lot better. Even backing up there. Score in the meantime goes up to 16 without loss. And KB's off the mark. Very strong, Terry, in that Midland leg area. We saw in the preliminary game.
yes.
It's down the onside again. There he goes. Down to the boundary for 4. Badly line delivery by Anthony Martin. You can't bowl that line.
No, Anthony will be disappointed about that. But as we say, that's bowling to KB's strength there. And Jennings are away to a flyer, which is exactly what they would have been hoping for, but not Bethesda. So they need to do something here. He needs to get back online.
20 without loss. He comes in now to bowl to KB. KB is back and flashing that. Racing away down to the third man boundary. I think they will save that one and they get 2 runs quite easily. So KB has looked a lot more freer in this innings here so far, Terry.
Yes, yeah, he looks like he means business and he looks in good touch, which is a danger sign for Bethesda.
If you're wondering what's happening on Platinum FM 97.9 is live ball by ball coverage of the cricket. Here is KB again whipping this one again beautifully out to the field at deep backward square. You only get 1 this time, but the intent, I like his approach, I like his intent here, young KB, and he's just growing in confidence, the wicketkeeper for Jennings Tigers.
Definitely, he's a man on a mission. He means business.
23 without loss.
And of course, Scottish international Munzie on strike now. He's on 14.
And he's an attacking player, Munzie.
Big unit.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's a big, powerful boy. So you'll understand that. See how he handles Anthony Martin, Munzie. Munzie waits as Martin comes in now to bowl to him, and he's back and flashing that beautiful save there by Kaniji. I think he would have saved 2 runs there. In the meantime, diving effort. Score goes up to 24 without loss. They need wickets. They need early wickets. Caribbean Union Bank, Bethesda. Munzi, in the meantime, he goes up to 15. KB is just looking to turn that. Casual in his approach. 2 overs bowled. And the latest score here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground in the second semi-final. They need 130 to win. Jennings at 24 without loss at the end of over number 2.
Yes, excellent start there by Jennings so far. They're going at 12 and over. They only have to go at just under 6. 5.89 is the run rate required. So they're well on top. And the batsman so far supporting the good work they did in the field. But that was a good save there by Kanjigi of the last ball of that previous over. And that's the type of dedication that's going to be required tonight by the Bethesda Golden Eagles if they got any chance in this match. 129 is the target, so it's not many to play for. So early wickets vital, but so far they just haven't been able to get the right lines and lengths.
So the young quickie, the prospect
Pittman
for the Leeward Islands, Kelvin Pittman, and he's bowling from the right end. The CIUN, no slip. You got a third man, short fine leg, a backward point, a cover, gully, mid on, mid off, short mid wicket. He comes in now to bowl to Muncy, and Muncy is trying to just work this one around. I wanted to talk a little bit, Terry, when you and Jacko on, about young Matthew Miller.
Mm-hmm.
And you realize the little intelligence at 13 years old. Now, he bowled one delivery which went offline.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other deliveries, he bowled them as straight as possible, forcing the batters to hit him down to long on and long off. Most of these senior bowlers who are playing in this competition, you don't see that happening. What you tend to see them is bowling short.
Very
Pittman
true.
into bowl to Muncy, pulling that one again. Pittman is aggressive. He's going to be coming again. He got a lesson the other night when he was playing against PIC Liberta Blackhawks. He ran into Raheem Cornwall, and sometimes you have to control your emotion. And at that time, I was very impressed that Naeem Young walked up to him and said, "Take it easy. Got to take it easy. You can't get carried away." That's what Cornwall wants. You know, you just focus on what you have to do. Munzi waits for Pittman. He comes in now, bowls to him. Rhythm really not right there. He's fumbling, coming through in his strides there, Terry. Look at juggler, not the real complete Pittman that you normally see. But in the meantime, rotation of the strike. Munzi goes to 16 and the score goes up to 24 without loss.
Yeah, he's just trying to get his rhythm, I feel. But he's definitely got the pace. His pace is up again tonight, which is great to see. You just get that rhythm, you'll be okay. Still persistent with the slip.
I think it is important for him to get his strike pattern going. That looks a lot better.
Oh,
ooh, that had some pace there on it there. Kyle KB looking to go square, and the ball nearly got an under edge onto his stump. Went past Benter, the wicketkeeper, and down. Devon Thomas running from first slip inside the 30-yard circle. Couldn't stop the single. Score in the meantime goes up to 26 without loss. Muncy comes back into strike. He's on 16. They need wickets, Terry. Maybe you need to help them.
They do. They need wickets in a hurry. Vernon? Why? They're not going to get them like that.
And it's gone boom.
That's gone
Had
into
some folks scurrying for cover there.
sticky wicket.
I think the groundsmen, they're having a laugh about it, but you got to be able to help somebody out there. Short ball by Pittman, and once he got on top of it, he's a big guy, and he hit that forward a square for 6. And the score in the meantime goes up to 32 without loss. He's going to be the danger man. If they get him, and maybe he can put some pressure back on the Jennings Tigers. If he flies off, Caribbean Union Bank Bethesda could be in trouble. Pittman losing his focus, losing his rhythm there. Had to go right back. This is only over number 3. So it's all happening here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground, the second semi-final. We just learned over the PA system that the first game, Terry, will start at 3 p.m. tomorrow.
Apparently they are checking that out.
Here
See
goes
if that's true or not.
Pittman as he comes in out to bowl to Muncy. Muncy is back and steering this, but can't beat Naim Young and short third man era. The score at the end of over number 3 is 32 without loss. So we had 14, Terry, off the first over, right? 10 off the second and 8 off the third.
Yeah, they're going along at a good clip, good rate of knots, really. Jennings Tigers, they're all over Bethesda Eagles, Golden Eagles so far this evening. That short ball by Pittman was just too short. He had the 2 men back. The 2 men out in the power play was the deep mid-wicket and deep backward square leg, but it was far too short, and Munzy was onto it on a flash and cracked it way over the boundary rope. So at 32 for no wicket after 3 overs, they're going at 10s, and the run rate required is only about half that, 5.7. So they definitely need wickets to Bethesda Golden Eagles, as that one KB dies on him. Dies through to Benter as well, the keeper, so there's no run. There's Naim Young into the attack now from the commentary box end. He's got a slip in place, third man, backward point, cover, extra cover, mid-off. As Young is up to KB, and that one full and wide outside the off stump. Missed by KB, and there is no run. KB is on 10, Munzy is on 22. Jennings Tigers in pursuit of 130 for victory. A 32 for no wicket as Young runs away from us into KB, and KB gets that one on the hip, turns it round for a single. And no bat involved, so they'll take the leg by. Score goes up by 1, 33 without loss in over number 4. Jennings Tigers, Bethesda Golden Eagles posted 129 for 8, which was below par for them. They never really got going. Some good, tight defensive bowling by Jennings Tigers. Of course, they're unbeaten in this tournament and looking to join the other unbeaten team in defending champions Liberta Blackhawks in the final, and that's well played by Munzy. Just dropped the bat on that one and took off for the quick single. So he's up to 22, and the score, no, he's up to 23, and the score is 34 without loss in over number 4, being bowled by the former West Indies under-19s player Naim Young. He's up to the wicket now, and KB is trying to force this. Takes the under edge of the bat, flies towards short fine leg, and they scamper through for another single. They're unable to stop the runs here at the moment. Bethesda, Jennings Tigers scoring off every delivery. Just adjustment in the field. They bring in the third man back into the circle. They got the 2 men deep on the onside to the left-handed Munzy. A slower ball by Young, and was chopped down to a short third man who fumbled, but they didn't take the single, so that completes over number 4. So at the end of 4 overs in pursuit of 130 for a victory and a place in the Cool and Smooth T20 Explosion final for 2022. Jennings Tigers well on their way, 35 without loss after 4 overs, with Munzy on 23 and KB is on 11. So this is a good positive start here by Jennings Tigers, chasing this modest total set by Bethesda Golden Eagles as Devon Thomas rings the changes in the field. It'll be Pittman bounding in from the northern end. And that one strikes KB on the pad, but it looked to be going down leg, and they scamper through for a leg bye. So that takes the score up to 35 without loss in over number 5. And of course, earlier today, defending champions Liberta Blackhawks comfortably defeated Rising Sun Spartans by 50 runs to reach yet another domestic competition final. Of course, red hot favourites to take out this competition. $22,000 for the winner this year as Pittman into Munsey, and Munsey advances and drives in strong, firmly, straight over, extra cover into the boundary, 4 runs. Good positive stroke there by Munsey. He moves on to 27, and he's definitely the danger man. The score moves on to 40 without loss in the 5th over. This is an excellent start here by Jennings Tigers. The batting so far has backed up the good work that the bowling and the fielding did earlier this evening. Pittman starts again from the northern end into the left-handed Munsey, and Munsey again trying to force that through the offside, but it's taken the inner portion of the bat, gone out to deep mid-wicket where Anthony Martin restricts the scoring to 1. Munsey goes on to 28, the score 41 for no wicket in over number 5. A good positive start, Burnham, by these Jennings Tigers.
Yeah, 41 without loss, and it's been a good contest. Yeah, Munsey leading the way, and he's been really the power hitter for the Jennings Tigers.
Pittman in again, and that's wide down the leg side, and well stopped there by a diving, flying, acrobatic Durham Benter. A wide called by the umpire, so 42 without loss.
42 without loss, Terry, but Kelvin Pittman not using his left arm. And if you realize that ball, he just pushed that delivery. His left arm is non-existent. And, you know, there's no rhythm in terms of his bowling. Got to be thinking about what he's doing.
Well, it's dug in again, and KB on the pull, but rushed in, beaten for pace. No run. Of course, the coverage of this cool and smooth T20 is made possible by CNN Community Sports Network, a subsidiary of the Parish League with studio located on High Street. Live matches can be viewed on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and CTV Channel 8, along with live studio shows. Follow the network for your live local sporting action. As Pittman in again to KB and again beats him with pace, flies through to keeper Benter, and no run. So he's troubling him with pace, but no luck yet.
Just not bowling straight enough. He's got to think about, you know, what he's doing. If he realizes, you know, you got the pace, but, you know, you got to be able to still bowl a slow off cutter and just land the ball in the right areas.
He's up to the wicket again into KB, and this time KB on the pull, and it just drops short of the square leg fielder there who's inside the circle. So a good finish to the over there by Pittman. Almost brings about a wicket, but at the end of 5 overs, Jennings Tigers in pursuit of 130 for victory and a place in the cool and smooth T20 explosion final of 42 without loss, with Munsey on 28 and KB on 11.
Very steady start so far. Munsey leading the way as a really professional, and he's been able to hold the top of the order here, and keeps improving every time you see him. You know, he's approaching this like a final, and his attitude has changed completely to the last time that we would have seen him here.
Got Anthony Martin back into the attack by the look of it. Naeem Young just getting the one over, only went for two, but he's been replaced by Martin from the commentary box end. Packing the offside field. A short third man. Short backward point. With it basically together, they got two short third man. That's pulled by Munzi through the onside. He might have split the gap here. Good work on the boundary there by the fielder.
Naeem Young.
Naeem Young, very athletic there. Tosses it back to Kaniji, and two picked up there by Munzi. So he moves on to 30. The score 44 for no wicket. We're in over number 6. Martin again into Munzi, and Munzi is hitting this top edge, and it's going to fall safe behind the keeper. The short, fine leg couldn't get around to that one. And lucky break there for Munzi, but it'll take it. He moves on to 31, 45 without loss.
Been trying that shot there very often, but he's got to understand that Anthony Martin has got a little guile about him. Meantime, they look to try to close on Kyle KB.
Tossed up by Martin and driven firmly down to long on for a single by KB. Moves him up to 12, and the score 46 for no wicket. We're in the 6th over. Jennings Tigers 46 without loss. The target is 130, and the place in the final.
That was Diego Joseph, the emergency fielder there for Gavin Town. Nice work there by the young man.
Munzi gives himself room outside leg, trying to force it through. Rather packed offside, can't do so. No run.
Good experience for Munzi on this tour. He's telling me he's enjoying himself here.
Again, and this one takes the bottom edge. Again, French cut. Down to fine leg. Short fine leg, who runs around and does a bit of work with his boot to stop that and restrict the score into 1. Score goes up to 47 without loss. Munzi is on to 32.
Take some wickets, Terry. They need
they need wickets, otherwise we won't be here till midnight.
We won't be here till midnight for sure. But the fans don't mind maybe being here to midnight.
No, and that's growing. I was down there earlier. It's definitely growing, and that is a great catch. KV tried to clip a fuller delivery by Martin through the mid-wicket region, and a fielder there diving forward. Emergency fielder.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Diego Joseph taking a blinder there at short mid-wicket.
That's the second one we've seen in close to the wicket. One on the off, one on the on. Inches off the ground, took it cleanly. KB goes for 12. Bethesda Golden Eagles strike. And Jennings in the 6th over are 47 for 1.
I think this is a good move here by Jennings coach Paul Miller Sr. to send out Orlando Peters. Because you have to send a statement. The KB and Munzi really put on a partnership of 47 for the opening stand, and Orlando Peters so far has really looked good in this tournament, and it's a good time to be able to just come out and stamp your authority on the game at the end of over number 6. 47 for 1.
47 for 1, so the power play done and dusted. Good one for Jennings, but Bethesda will still feel they're in it with that wicket. Brilliant catch by Joseph at mid-wicket off the bowling of Anthony Martin. We need to keep picking up wickets, Vernon.
Yeah, it's going to be important. It's going to be also important as to how well he bowls, Anthony Martin. So he started well. Devon Thomas, just for a moment, looked like he lost track in terms of where he wanted to be. So, quiet start here. As the ground just goes into a little lull, everybody just waiting to see what is going to happen, Terry.
Yeah, change of bowler. Left arm spin from the northern end now. Who's that man? Number 13 is Chad Walsh, no? Number 13 is who? Kinjigi.
So he's still Kinjigi.
He's replaced Pittman from the northern end. And Munsey gets a single, so 48 for 1. Munsey moves up to 33, brings Orlando Peters on strike for base the first time tonight.
Got Orlando Peters, once he gets going, he always looks so easy. Orlando Peters. There's a big lull here now. Devon Thomas now bringing back in Naim Young inside to the 30-yard circle. More or less a short fine leg. It's got a slip, backward point. He's cover, short mid-wicket. The cover real short. Long on, long off. And Orlando Peters, cool like Sunday morning, just comes back and across and plays it right in front of Anthony Martin, who's in a catching position, Terry.
He is, and even the short third man is even shorter than normal. But Peters off the mark. So he moves to 1. 49 for 1. We're in over number 7. Jennings in pursuit of 130 for victory.
Need a couple of wickets to kind of just set Jennings Tigers back, Terry.
Left-handed Munsey, and that one's tossed out. Munsey played all around that one. Through to Benta, and there's no run. Kinjigi just trying to entice the big, powerful Scottish international. Cramped him again. And the bowler does his own fielding to complete the over. So not a bad start there by Kinjigi. Just the 2 singles off it. And at the end of over number 7, Jennings Tigers in pursuit of 130 and a place in the finals. 49 for 1 with Munsey on 33 and Orlando Peters on 1.
So we have another bowling change. It looks as if Mondani is going to come from the media center end. He started first from the CIUN and he's now brought on now from the media center end. So Devon Thomas is holding back Naim Young and company. He's maybe got some ideas. He's maybe trying to see if he can play mind games with Orlando Peters.
Yeah, well, he's not frightened in changing the bowling or the field so far tonight is Devon Thomas. Putting everything into it as Madani short pulled through the mid-wicket area out to Anthony Martin on the boundary for 1 to Peters. Peters moves to 2. And the 50 is up for Jennings Tigers. They're 50 for 1 in over number 8.
So Mondani started his second over. His first score's 15. Anthony Martin, 2 overs, no maidens, 15 runs, 1 wicket. Kelvin Pittman, 2 not, 14 not. Back to you, Terry.
Mondani is punched up to long off by Munsey for a single. 51 for 1. Munsey moves to 34.
So we had Kelvin Pittman, 2 overs, no maidens, 14 runs, no wickets. Naim Young, 1 over, no maiden, 2 runs, no wickets. And Kaniji, 1 not, 2 not.
Mondani again beaten outside the off stump was Peters. Beat Benta the keeper as well. And they run through for a bye. So 52 for 1. But certainly with these changes, they've stopped the boundary balls. But they need wickets. As Madani in again, this time to the left-handed Munsey. And Munsey's reverse sweep and that very well played.
Switch it.
Switch it straight over the top of the short third man down to the boundary.
Plays a shot masterfully.
Very well. Excellent.
That's something that he practiced, you can see, for hours. And he hits it cleanly. You know, almost like you're looking at the IPL and you see David Warner. Or even Glenn Maxwell. That's the sort of production that you get here from Munsey with that shot.
And he's the danger man tonight. He's moved on to 38, 56 for 1. Jennings. And at the moment, strolling to victory as Madani tries again. And that one heading down the leg side, but takes the pad of Munzi. And there's no run. 56 for 1 in over number 8.
Tournament is being played in high spirit, Terry.
Excellent spirits, yes.
Between the teams, between the clubs, I must say.
Mm-hmm. Madani in again to Munzi, and Munzi thickish outside edge to the short third man who can't prevent the singles. So that ends over number 8. And at the end of the over, the score is shot up to 57 for 1.
What's the plan now, Terry? Because Devon Thomas is having a headache. His wicket taker Anthony Martin has bowled 2 overs, and he maybe needs to find somebody else who's going to be able to pick up a couple of wickets and that can be able to send a little shockwave in the Jennings Tigers dressing room. Because you got Orlando Peters picking up here. If they get 1 or 2 here, it now means that you have to bring in most likely a Paul Miller, who didn't really look composed in the last game.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's going to be Kinjigi to continue, and that's well flighted. Beaten Munzi, but Munzi is the key. If they can get rid of him, they'll feel they have a chance. But if he stays another couple of overs, it might be good night nurse, as Kinjigi is into Munzi, and he's playing that towards backward point for no run. Madani, Bethesda Golden Eagles, they need wickets and they need a couple in a hurry here. They want any chance of advancing to the final to play the defending champions, the Alberta Blackhawks. That's well bowled again by Kinjigi, cramping the Scottish international in Munzi, can only play it back defensively to the bowler. 57 for 1, we're in over number 9. Kinjigi very well flighted, but smacked through the mid-wicket region. There's protection out there. Anthony Martin on the deep mid-wicket boundary restricts it to 1. So Munzi moves up to 40, and the score 58 for 1.
58 for 1.
72 to win.
Very important period of play taking place here, and it's almost like a walk in the park here, and they have to be smart about it and their approach.
Kinjigi into Orlando Peters, who turns that into mid-wicket, and there is no run. They're stacking up the dot balls not too badly and restricting the boundaries, but they just can't find those wicket-taking deliveries at the moment, as that one is turned to the right of the short mid-wicket, so they get the single this time. Good bat in there by Peters. He moves on to 2. The over's complete. So after 9 overs, Jennings Tigers in pursuit of 130 to win. A 71 away. They're 59 for 1 with Munzi on 40 and Orlando Peters on 3.
Naim Young showing his experience here and having a discussion with Devon Thomas in terms of field placing. But they certainly have to come up with a plan in terms of how they're going to get a wicket. John Archibald is also sending out a message by saying, come on, you've got to be able to come up with a different plan. Naim Young comes into the attack, and it's almost like a headache, Terry, now for Devon Thomas, because he has to get wickets.
Has to.
If he wants to be in this contest.
Definitely. It's an absolute must.
We're approaching the halfway stage. You're talking about 66 balls to go. So something has to happen. Something has to give.
So it'll be Naim Young back into the attack, ball into Orlando Peters. And this ball, he beaten outside the off stump. Peters went for the big drive. Didn't make contact through the benter. No run. Yes, because at a run rate, they're currently going... Well, it's basically even Steven. They're currently going at 6.4. They need to go at 6.5. So there's no problem whatsoever. They've got wickets in hand, and that is what Bethesda, they need to strike. Because Young into Peters, and that one, he just checked it. He was looking for the drive again.
Slow off cutter there from Naim Young.
Smart cricketer, Young.
Well, it's not only a matter of smart cricketer. It's a matter of experience. Most of the batters in this tournament want pace
on the ball.
And if you take pace off of the ball, then you force them to have to come up with another shot. But Jennings Tigers can afford to be able to just go to these middle over periods here, because they would know that it depends on how deep one of these bats can still get over. You're talking about 130 runs off 120 deliveries. It's almost like a walk in the park.
Exactly. Young into Munzi, and Munzi again comes off the edge of his bat all the way along the ground to third man, takes a single, he moves up to 41, the score 61 for 1 in over number 10.
You could tell the professional approach from Munzi. He understands his role here, and he knows that if he gets out, then he could sort of put some pressure back on the Jennings Tigers team, and so he wants to get into the final. And you could look at the entire focus and his mindset is that he wants to be there at the end.
Definitely. Young into Peters, and Peters drops it and runs. Very intelligent cricket.
Now, let me say something to you, Terry, because it's going to be very critical. Because of the change of pace of how Naim Young is bowling, the fielders inside the 30-yard circle are going to have to be a little bit more sharper.
Yes.
In terms of making something happen.
And even come in a couple of yards. Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, it's neither here nor there.
No.
And I know it's easy for me to say that. These two players are not looking for power right now. What they're looking for is rotation of the strike.
Right.
Having a left
and right
combination.
And especially Munzi is quite content to just work it around. He wants to be there at the end. Young into Munzi. There he goes again, whipping that straight past the short fine leg into the boundary. 4 runs. Munzi moves up to 45. The score 66 for 1. We've got 1 ball left in the 10th over.
Poor delivery there by Naim Young. And that's a risk of bringing up your short fine leg. Bringing up your fine leg inside the 30-yard circle, because pace on the ball there, you realize the extra effort there. And he was able to get a boundary there. 66 for 1.
Young in again to Munzi, and Munzi is driving that firmly to Long On, who comes around and restricts the fielding to just 1, so that completes the over. So we've had 10 overs in this chase of 130, and Jennings Tigers are 67 for 1. They're well on their way. 63 runs required. Munzi is on 45 and Peters is on 5 as we have a change in commentary.
Yeah, thank you very much, Terry. The Jennings Tigers well set, as you said rightfully, on their way to this victory. Not quite there yet, 63 to win in the remaining 10, but you've got it well set. George Munzi at the crease. You expect them to get over the line from here. However, I do want to see the depth that the Tigers have to offer. Kenjige is going to come back into the attack. Solid 2 overs from him, just 4 runs. But we've got to find a way to get George Munzi out. Well, we've got so many quality players in this tournament. Munzi, of course, one being an overseas pro. We've got another one alongside me, Matthew Ford, who would have played just one game for the Empire Nation team. Unfortunately, due to travel restrictions, etc., he didn't get here in time for the first game. We did have that no result as well. Matthew, welcome to the commentary box. Your overall experience at the Cool and Smooth T20, I hope it's been good.
Thanks, Nick. The experience at the Cool and Smooth so far has been excellent. The organization of the tournament is second to none. Dario, he has a big part to play, and I think he's doing his job to the best of his ability.
Yeah, well, full delivery from Kenjige is mixing up the lengths, just trying to find a way to get this wicket. How important at this stage, Matthew, if you look at the situation of the game, 61 to win in the remaining just under 10 overs. Kenjige around the wicket. Munzi goes big. Has he got enough? There is a man in the deep, and he takes the catch.
Brilliant catch by Anthony Martin.
Well summed up by Matthew Ford, but Anthony Martin, look at what it means to him. Takes off straight away. Not the youngest of men on the field, but he's just got that same ability, same athleticism. and Muncie goes for 47 and gets a send-off from Martin as well.
He's never short of a celebration, isn't he, Nick?
Yeah, it was brilliant, and I don't think Muncie's too happy about that. But what I will say is, it's now 3 solid contributions from George Muncie in this competition. He got 46, then 50 in the last game, and now 47. He's done the bulk of the work for this Jennings Tigers team, but he's got to depart. Big wicket at this stage.
Nick, I think the game is in the balance here. It could go either way at this moment. Cricket's a funny game and it's played on the field. That's a big wicket there for Jennings Tigers at this point in the match.
Tell me about this decision, though, to bowl Kenjige, by Devon Thomas, the captain. Bring him in for his third over. The first 2 just went for 4 runs. In a tight game like this, you're only defending 130. Would you say sort of it was the right move? You're looking for wickets, or are you looking to take the game as deep as possible?
I think it's a brave move by the skipper because it's the left arm spinner to a left-hander to the short side as well. So kudos to Dev there. Brilliant move, and it paid off in the end.
47 from 37 from Muncie. Really good start from him in terms of at the top of the order. You've watched a bit of him, yes, he did have that game which was rained out. You didn't get to see him on that occasion, but you did get to see him when he scored that half century a couple of days ago. What have you made of him? Obviously opening batter for Scotland. Been good to have him at this tournament in terms of the experience, the exposure he brings, but what have you made of in terms of his ability and playing style?
Obviously, Muncie is an overseas pro, so he's pretty got his game. As Orlando looks for a single there, but there's no run. Yeah, Muncie, he's a pretty solid player, quite professional as he approaches game, and he's quite focused. One thing I like about him, he's always focused and ready for the job. Any task thrown at him. So, well done, Muncie. Excellent tournament so far.
Well, end of the 11th over, 69 for 2. If you're now joining us, Matthew Ford, the former West Indies Under-19 World Cup member of that 2020 World Cup, got to the semi-finals that year, and would have played alongside the likes of Naeem Young, who's also in action, so his good friend. A bit of pressure on Naeem, you would say, Matthew. You applying any pressure on him, in terms of coming into this game? What is the relationship like between you two?
That's my best mate now, about 5 years, 6 years. We've played a lot of youth cricket together, and the bond is always there. As a brilliant delivery ball by Sushant. The batsman is trying to turn this one into the onside, but gets a leading edge out to point.
Matthew's looking for my job, coming to do some ball. No, I love it. Love to get the players, exposed. I just think it's so important to hear the players' perspective as well, because you guys have the knowledge. You guys are in the middle actually playing the cricket, so we can only see it from here. You guys know the intensity, what's needed. Good delivery again by Modani. First over was really expensive. He went for 14, the first over of the innings, but I think he's come back really well in these next 2 so far. Again, around the wicket, looking to angle it into the left-hander. Bold move, though, to go to Modani as a part-time option. Had that expensive first over, but clearly his confidence still up that he's able to come back and execute a spell like this.
In a time like this, Nick, I think Devon is really taking a hold of the game. And now you can see there's a spring in the Tigers step. Not the Tigers, the Bethesda. My apologies.
The Golden Eagles.
There's a bit of intensity here now. And now I think that he knows that this is a point in the game where it can change. It can go either way. So, new batsman at the crease in Peters and Barron. So he's definitely going to tie a few dots here.
Yeah, he does just that. Tell me about, though, as a leader yourself on the field, Matthew, in those under-19 squads, you were a mainstay in terms of your leadership, one of the louder, more enthusiastic members. Always could hear you on the field. Good quick single by the Tigers. That's what's required. How tough does Devon Thomas of a job does he have right now? 59 more to get for the Tigers, and they've got 8 wickets in hand. So as a leader, what are you saying to your men to get them up for this occasion?
I think it's just a matter of being calm and, not panicking. Whoever stays calm for the longest period, I think as Sushan is into bowl to Baron. And it's a big shot. Swung out to deep mid wicket here. Oh, and he's overrun it into the boundary, 4 runs.
Well, it was just full. I'm surprised he actually varied his length, Modani, because he got success on that, a good length. But in the end, just a bit too full and a misfield. We have seen this on a couple of occasions tonight. Not just Kenjige, the fielder. And that could be painful. In a game, you're only defending 130. You have to save every run. A crucial boundary to end the 12th. It's 75 for 2.
No, these are just crucial mistakes you cannot make at this stage. Required run rate at 6.88. So it's roughly a run a ball. You know, you have to back your bowlers in the field. You have to put your body on the line.
So it looks like it's going to be Anthony Martin. And I love to tell people this story, Matthew. I remember, growing up watching Anthony Martin on television. I was trying to mimic his action in the backyard playing cricket. He had such an unorthodox action. Unfortunately, he didn't play a lot for the West Indies, but it was always great to watch him, whether in white ball cricket for the Leeward Islands. To see him at 39 years old still be able to put in performances like he has in this tournament, I think it's really been remarkable. It surprised me. I didn't know he was involved in this much cricket.
Well, obviously, as we know, Anthony has a big heart, and he's a winner. He's a fighter. So I think this is really like more of a enjoyment for him. Just coming back out, giving the young guys the experience, the knowledge that he possesses. I think it's a good introduction to this Bethesda side, and so far he's been excellent in the tournament.
Yeah, wrist spin on Martin. Been very consistent on that length. Anthony Martin likes to bring the batters forward. One thing I've noticed, though, in terms of a change in his game, the trajectory which he bowls at, a lot quicker in that power play as you expect. That's going to be a wide, though. Has to re-bowl that one. But tends to be a lot faster in terms of flight, the pace of deliveries early on with the newer ball, looking for the ball that skids on. So Martin looking for a wicket. We've had Matthew Ford. He's had to leave us, unfortunately, but really good to get his perspective. Another delivery, another dot delivery from Martin. Really good over. The pressure, just pressure changing. Matthew did say the game was in the balance after the wicket of Munsey. And again, 4 dots to start this over. Crucial 4-dot deliveries from Anthony Martin. Using his experience well. It's been interesting to see how Devon Thomas manages his bowling options. Yeah, much faster this time. That one doesn't spin at all. Just too quick. But a really good and solid over from Martin. 77 for 2 after 13. Terry Laraja joins me. Terry, interesting game here. I was always looking at that power play, how crucial it would be. And they got off to a flyer, but you just sense now, since that wicket, that required rate going up like it always does when you lose a wicket. A lot of dot deliveries cut down to cover. Just one. How do you go from here now if you are the Tigers? You just got to, I assume you have to sustain at some stage, but you've got to still score.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think the key was Munsey, because Munsey had the experience and he was just working it around nicely. That is the key, though, I think, that they just need to keep knocking it around. They're only, 52 away? They just need to keep knocking it around. But full credit to Bethesda. They've hit back strong.
Well, lofty.
Chance.
There is a mid-wicket in place. Doesn't carry, though. I've seen that quite a few times in this tournament. A lot of balls not carrying. has been really good surface. So I must say, credit to the ground staff here at Coolidge. I just think this is the perfect T20 ground, Terry.
Right, excellent. Very intimate for the crowd. The crowd is involved. Good batting track. Good outfield. And that one is cut to the short third man who can't prevent the single. So the score goes up to 80 for 2. And Peters moves on to 10.
Yeah, Bethesda, one of the better fielding sides in this competition, and I just find tonight that's let them down. A couple of misfields. Obviously, they had that catch which was not given out. A crucial passage of play of George Munsey in the first over.
Big hit again. Will it clear? Yes. Gets over the long on boundary. 6 more. That was a good strike. The fielder down there, 2 of them converging on it. Thought they were in with a chance, but it cleared the ropes. And that brings the equation down under 50 now. 86, is it? 80,
Yeah, 86 for 2. And it also brings that required run rate now down below 7. So when you only need to go at 7s and over, you hit a 6. Obviously, it does a lot for your net run rate. Sorry, not your run rate, not net run rate. Been dealing too much with the standings and who's qualifying. But just 44 to get, Terry. You have to say the Tigers with 8 wickets in hand. It's their game to lose.
Definitely. Danny in again to Barron, and this one is forced through the offside to Anthony Martin on the boundary for a single. Barron moves to 13. Peters on strike now. He's on 10, 87 for 2. That's 43 required. Madani into Peters, and that takes the edge, flies past the short third man, 4 runs. And that's all you need when you're only chasing a small target. The edges find the gaps, then they find the boundaries. Peters moves up to 14. Over is completed, so after 14 overs, Jennings Tigers 130 to win. They're 91 for 2 with Barron on 13 and Peters on 14. And as you say, it's their game to lose. The Jennings Tigers just 39 required now of 36 deliveries.
It was interesting to see where Devon Thomas goes to. He's going to go back to Kelvin Pittman, the tall seamer, because he's got 1 over from Anthony Martin, 2 from Naeem Young, which I think will be crucial at death. But also Ken Jiga's got 1, just 6 runs on a wicket for him. So he has to be very sparing in terms of when he does use that over. Obviously a left hand at the crease. You want to play the matchups in T20 cricket. So he goes back to the seam, which I think can be a risk, because it just need a piece of bat on this lightning quick outfield. And any boundary at this stage is so crucial, because if they get 1 from here on in per over, the game is won easily.
Pittman short outside the off stump and slashed high over. Short extra cover. The mid-off does well to restrict the score into 1, so 1 more to Peters. To Barron, sorry, he moves on to 14. Score 92 for 2. We're in over number 15. Yeah, it's a catch-22, isn't it, for Devon Thomas, because he needs wickets, so he's gone back to his big paceman. The game is definitely slipping away. He needs to go bang, bang, bang very, very quickly. Pittman in again to Peters, and that's ill-directed down the leg side, wide call by the umpire. 93 for 2. We're in over number 15.
Yeah, just look at this Bethesda Golden Eagles team. I mean, you look at the construct. Obviously, Devon Thomas, such an experienced player at the top of the order. Naeem Young, their overseas pick. They also have Sushant Modani, Noshas Kenjige, both USA national players. Kelvin Pittman was very close to that West Indies under-19 setup. I just find, I just get a sense of underachievement from this team, who I think has the potential to challenge the likes of a Liberta Blackhawks. They've got the players, but just hasn't quite clicked yet. If they can get over the line in the final, you never know.
Pittman in again, and it's turned nicely by Peters into the mid-wicket region, but he's sent back by Barron. No run. Yeah, well, as we were saying before the match started, on paper, they look far superior. But you got to give credit to Paul Miller Sr. and his Jennings boys, because they too are undefeated. I mean, I know they had the washout and whatever, but they are undefeated. Pittman short into the body of Peters, and there's no run. 93 for 2 in over number 15. But as you say, they just haven't been able to click or gel as a side, as a unit, and it's cost them in this tournament.
Yeah, I think it's a good point you made in terms of the Tigers. I think they've gone a bit unnoticed because we focus so much on this Group 1 with the Golden Eagles, with Liberta, but they really are undefeated, and they bowled really well tonight. That was my big concern with the Tigers, and they showed up that their bowling can restrict teams.
Pittman full, and Peters driving down the ground just for the single to long on. Score goes up by 1, 94 for 2. They're just 36 away now, 94 for 2. Peters is on 15.
I think this is the next big question I have about this Tigers team. The batting when Muncy is dismissed. He come off again today. That's 46, 50, and 47 in this tournament. 3 significant scores. Exactly what you want from a person you bring up from overseas. But I want to see the batting lineup without him. You know, how can they adapt going into a final if they can get over the line here today?
Yeah, definitely. He is the key. So you get him early. You wonder about the rest of the batting, especially if they make the final. And that ball is pulled down to long on for a comfortable single to Barron this time. So 95 for 2. Barron goes on to 15. Yeah, let's say they go on and win tonight and they make the final. They're coming up against a very strong Liberta side bowling unit. You know, Jimbo Cornwall's got many options in that side. So it would be very interesting if Muncy does fall early. Pittman just losing his run-up.
Yeah, I do think it's very crucial, Calvin Pittman, that he closed out this over well. Just 4 runs from it. Ideal in this situation when you're defending 130, but you've got to make sure you close it out either with maybe 1 you can live with or a dot ball. Ideally, of course, a wicket will work as well. But a boundary
But
here
no boundary.
would just kill all the hard work he's done.
Pittman up to the wicket, and that's well bowled. Full and straight, forced up to long on by Peters. He moves on to 16. The overs completed. So after 15 overs, Jennings Tigers in pursuit of 130 for victory. A 34 away. They're 96 for 2 with Peters on 16 and Barron on 15.
Yeah, just before I hand over, Terry, I think quickly on the Blackhawks, when you have a leader that's so calm, collected, obviously he's got international experience, Raheem Cornwall, it just seems to correlate on the rest of the team. It just transfers. It's like an energy transfer. I look at a lot of the other players, the Kareem Agors, obviously very experienced for the USA national team. Hayden Walsh Jr. plays for the West Indies. But they got the right people in the right places who just have that bit of extra experience, which I think has made the difference in this tournament. Not to mention the great fielding, the start that their openers have given them, and a plethora of many other things. But I just think that calmness is what allows them to do so well under pressure. And it's almost like that next man up mentality.
Most definitely, and we saw that today. You know, a lot of teams would have panicked. 120 on the board, chasing, all right, 196 was the target, but 120 without loss. A lot of other teams would have panicked, but Liberta Blackhawks didn't do that. They were cool, calm, collected, and saw the match through and saw it through very comfortably to make yet another final. As Naeem Young starts the next over from the pavilion end. And that's played nicely by Orlando Peters to the short third man for a single. Peters moves on to 17. We're in over number 16. Jennings Tigers at 97 for 2. They need 33 for victory. Off these last 29 deliveries. 29 legitimate deliveries. There's Barron, who's on 15. The left-hander is back on strike. Naeem Young just adjusting his field. He's bringing fine leg up inside the circle, and third man is inside the circle. He's up to the wicket now, and this is hit high off the outside edge of the bat, flies over the top of the third man, who he just brought back inside the circle, where you say luck's a fortune, because if he had kept him on the rope, that would have gone straight down his throat. Instead, it's flown over the top of his head into the boundary for 4. Brings up the 100 for the Jennings Tigers. They're 101 for 2, and that means they're 29 away from victory. Is Young into Barron, who wasn't quite ready, pulls out of his stance. Umpire calls dead ball. Naeem Young quickly back to his mark. This one slipping away from Bethesda here as Young into Barron, and that is wide, very wide, and missed by Benter as well, so they take the extra run, so 2 more to the total. The total moves on to 103 for 2, with Barron on 19, Peters on 17. The target is 130, so Jennings Tigers are 27 away from making this cool and smooth T20 explosion final for 2022, where they will join Liberta Blackhawks, as Young is into Peters, and Peters just checks his stroke. Ball wide outside the off stump. He drags it into the mid-wicket region, takes the single. He moves on to 18. The score 104 for 2. As Vernon Springer joins us again. Vernon, they're just about home here. Naeem Young trying his best. And that wasn't really necessary there by Barron, walking right across his stumps. Missed the ball completely, but luckily Young was off target. Rolls harmlessly through to Benter, the keeper. There's no run. 104 for 2. We're in over number 16.
Experience of Orlando Peters showing his maturity here, and also the look of Adrian Barron, very aggressive.
Young into Barron, and that's driven firmly up to mid-off. Makes a tumbling save, restricts the scoring to 1. Barron moves to 20. The score 105 for 2. They're 25 away, and they've got 19 legitimate deliveries to get those 25, and still 8 wickets in hand. The Jennings Tigers, as Young turns, runs away from us now. No, loses his run-up, so he'll start again. In he comes to Orlando Peters, and to this delivery, Peters is just working it into the offside towards backward point. They take a comfortable single, and it looks like another hamstring's gone. Vernon, this time with Barron. Pulled up a bit short there. But that's the over completed. So after 16 overs, Jennings Tigers 106 for 2, with Barron on 20, Peters on 19. So they need 24 off 24.
And you know, this was always going to be on the card, Terry, based on 130 off 120 deliveries. It's almost like a stroll in the park. Maybe had they scored 150, 155.
Yeah.
Could have been able to kind of just put some pressure back. If you look at the bowling lineup, you'd see Naeem Young. In fact, Kelvin Pittman, 3 overs, no maidens, 19 runs, no wickets. Anthony Martin, 3 overs, no maidens, 17 runs, 1 wicket. Sushan Modani, 4 overs, no maiden, 41 runs, no wicket. He was pretty expensive in the end as Martin comes back to complete his spell. his fourth over, so it's going to be critical to see how Orlando Peters handles him.
Yep, Martin into Peters, and that is slashed through. Backward point, it goes straight through the fieldsman into the boundary. 4 runs. Peters moves on to 23. The score 110 for 2. And now they're just 20 away. But a good point you make, though, Vernon, because those extra 10, 15 runs, with the way he was hitting them, could have come from Gavin Tong before he pulled that hamstring. But nevertheless, Jennings will tell you that catch should have been taken and he should have been dismissed before that. So, all in the balance.
Cricket is a crude game.
It is a crude game.
Diego Joseph misfielding that ball there off of Anthony Martin after taking a blinder early and just taking his eyes off of the ball. 111 up. Nelson. Terry.
Well, will that work for Bethesda?
I need to work for Jennings.
And that is pulled through the mid-wicket region by Barron, who's limping severely. He picks up the single, though. He moves on to 21. The score 112 for 2. We're in over number 17.
It's been a good time here, Terry. Tomorrow we wish I could maybe get to go to the beach tomorrow just before I come here. We still have so much work to do. Get myself organized.
Yeah, but it's been a good crowd tonight, though. And I can confirm that the first match will start at 4 p.m. local time tomorrow. So the first match will be the third and fourth playoff match. And that will start at 4 p.m. tomorrow afternoon here at Coolidge. Martin completes his over, so we're at 17 overs. Jennings Tigers in pursuit of 130 and a place in the final are 113 for 2. Barron is on 21. Peters is on 25. They require 17 off 18.
So George Munsey was caught Anthony Martin, Bo Kaniji for 47. Kyle KB caught he was brilliantly caught by Diego Joseph of Anthony Martin for 12. Orlando Peters has batted beautifully. So too is Agent Barron, and they've just put a break on anything that looked possible that they weren't in control, and the experience of Orlando Peters has certainly helped the Jennings Tigers here.
As Young starts another over, and it's driven by Peters to mid-off, and they take the quick single. Peters moves up to 26. The score 114 for 2. 16 required for victory here and a place in the final for tomorrow. All up for grabs. Final winner,
I'll be doing something
22,000.
I'll be doing something different. I would have maybe bowled a little fuller, some full Yorkers to Barron, more wide, especially since he's looked like has a slight injury.
And that one to Barron, a full delivery. And he slashes it to mid-off. Can't beat the field, no run. Score remains 114 for 2, 16 required.
Hide the ball to him, really. Force it to some really wide Yorkers, quick, and force him to go for it.
Young in again, and what a catch by Darren Benter. He gave himself some room, did the struggling Barron, and went for the big drive. Caught the outside edge, and Benter, the athletic Benter, high and wide to his left, took it in both hands. Terrific catch. That's the third great catch we've seen tonight. Barron has to go for 21. Jennings Tigers lose their third wicket. They're 114 for 3 after 17 and a half overs. They have 2.3 overs left, and they require 16 to win.
Is there another twist to this game?
Oh, 16 or 15.
Orlando Peters not out 26, 31 balls, 44 minutes, 2 maximums. Out comes Paul Miller. So maybe there might not be another twist. The good thing about it is that Orlando Peters, he can up the game. And if I know him very well, he's going to use his smarts, because he knows, and just what we were talking about. Remember I was saying to you that, Naeem Young just needs to bowl wide, especially to an injured Barron. And he wanted to, finish the game very quickly. This is his fourth over. Anthony Martin has completed his spell. 4 overs, no maidens, 24 runs, 1 wicket. So it now means that there's going to be a headache for Devon Thomas because Pittman also has to come back for 1. And it's going to be interesting to see what approach Orlando Peters will take. Paul Miller automatically will maybe have to try to need some time to get himself organized. So this game not over by a long shot yet.
Not over yet. 16 runs required. 15 legitimate deliveries left in the match as Young into Miller. And this one beaten outside the off stump, flies through to Benta and no run.
Miller needs to get bat on ball. He's got to understand the objective there. You got to get bat on ball. You've got to be able to get a single and give your skipper the strike who's been in there. That's your momentum. If I was Miller, I'd be thinking about batting off stump, especially to Naeem Young.
Young again beats him outside off stump. Another dot ball. 16 still required. 13 deliveries remaining.
Still gettable, as long as Orlando
Very,
Peters
very
is there.
gettable.
But the only issue now is how is Orlando Peters going to deal with the remaining 12 balls?
Young in again. And he's bowling. Well bowled, Naeem Young. Dot, wicket straight through Paul Miller. He's gone for naught. Jennings Tigers lose their 4th. Is there another twist? They still require 16. They're 114 for 4. 2 overs remaining. 16 to win off 12 balls and a place in the Cool and Smooth T20 Explosion final for 2022.
Paul Miller never looked ready.
No,
never
he was
looked
all over
focused.
that.
Yeah, I mean, even the ball that got him, he just looked lethargic in the approach. A ball like that, you got to be backing across and you got to be looking to be able to. First of all, he was leaving alone a delivery. You got to be able to get bat and ball. You're sitting down in the pavilion, and there has to be a game awareness in terms of what you're gonna have to do.
Definitely, and Kinjigi, who's bowled well, is back into the attack, but Naeem Young, well bowled. Young man, 4 overs, no maidens, 2 for 21. The game is still on.
And Keniji's spell so far, 3 overs, no maidens, 6 runs, 1 wicket. They need a big over. And I think Orlando Peters is going to take this over. He has to. This has to be the over that he has to go.
Yes, they don't want to leave too many for the last.
He has to get it down to single digits in the last over.
Definitely. Still 16 required to win. We've got 2 overs remaining. So
I'll be batting, if I was Orlando, I'll be batting off stump right here to this left-hander and forcing him to, come up with something else different. Anthony Martin comes up to him. Terry, let's talk a little bit about the field placing because this is going to be critical. You have a mid wicket, a long on, long off, and a sweeper on the offside. No slip, a short fine leg. But for sure you got a short third man and a backward point. Orlando is going.
High.
Gone.
Got there. 4 runs. Straight back over the bowler's head.
I told you that. Terry.
Good blow.
This is going to be the over.
Yeah. He's experienced enough run and he's been around long enough.
And I'm trying to wonder if it was ideal enough to be able to have Kaniji maybe bowling this over at this point in time.
True. 118 for 4. 12 to win. We're in the 19th over.
The long off should have been a little bit to his right. That's just my view. Kaniji comes in out to bowl to Orlando Peters. And he's tugging this one down to long on. They're thinking about 2. Are they going to get it? Oh gosh, somebody's in trouble. Oh my gosh. Comedy of errors. He's outrun out.
Gave him.
He's outrun out. No communication at all here. Oh, it's all happening here. Panic creeping in here.
It is all happening for sure. The non-striker in Miller,
Cameron Miller
had 2 on his mind all the time. Now he was going to the danger end, but Orlando Peters didn't look. He didn't want to come back for the second. Then when he looked up, Miller was already halfway down the pitch. He stopped. They both stopped. Peters kept coming. Miller had to go. The throw was wayward. Went through Kinjigi at the bowler's end, but then returned to him, and the umpire gave him out. So they've lost their 5th wicket. Jennings 119 for 5. They still require 11. They've got 1.4 overs left. We're in the 19th over.
Kaniji in now to bowl to Orlando Peters down the ground again. Down too long on. They're thinking about 2, but I don't think that is on. He's got to do better than that. He should have been able to split the mid wicket and the long on with that
gap.
delivery.
Big gap. Yeah.
Trying to go straight in. He knows that. He's upset with himself
upset.
now. In terms of what has been happening. John Archibald.
But he put his hand up straight away. There was no way he was coming back for the second that time.
Very vocal. They need 10 runs, Terry.
10 runs off 9.
10 off 9. So they need 10 singles.
10 singles, and now they got 5 wickets left.
So who we have batting? Who we have here now?
We have Africa.
All right. Well, Jaime Africa can bat.
He can bat.
So let's see what his approach is going to be. And
he's flicked it straight to Anthony Martin, who tosses it high and runs off in celebration. Jennings Tigers are falling apart, and the crowd is going wild here at Coolidge.
Wow.
They've lost their 6th wicket. They still need 10 runs. They got 8 legitimate deliveries left as Kinjigi picks up his 2nd for the night.
Terry, why is Jaime Africa hitting the ball in the air?
Exactly.
Just come and strike the ball down the ground.
Yeah.
The mindset. That's what I was telling you about the skill set.
They panic in the other, and that's for sure.
But it's not a matter of panic, Terry. Terry, if you have 10 singles and you have 9 balls, there's no need for you to be trying to force anything different. It shows you that the skill set of the players, there's not any game awareness. So nobody was paying attention inside the pavilion. You got to be figuring out how are you going to get a single.
Exactly, and that's
all you have to do.
And as you said earlier, looked like Paul Miller wasn't ready for the show, you know. So maybe he shouldn't have come in when he did. But they've lost their 6th wicket, 120 for 6. Jennings Tigers. They need 10 runs. They got 8 deliveries remaining. Kinjigi has taken 2 for 12 of 3.4. He's in to Martin, and Martin again chips it to this time short extra cover. On the bounce though. No run. Dot ball. 10 from 7.
Martin has come out. Let's see what his approach is going to be. Orlando Peters, cool and calm. He has to win this for his team. Has to win this for his club tonight. And he maybe needed to bring this down to single digits.
Martin forcing off the back foot. Through the cover region, they're coming back for the 2nd, and they make it. So Orlando Peters will have the strike for the last over, and Jennings Tigers will need 8. They're 122 for 6 with 1 over to go, and they need 8 to win off the last over and a place in the finals.
This is going to be dicey. This is going to be dicey.
2 boundaries will do it.
Who's going to bowl the last over? Looks like Kelvin Pittman. So, it's all to play for. A spot in the final has come down to the final over, Terry. They need
8
of 6. What is going to be the mindset?
And Peters is 32 not out.
This is the biggest over I think that Kelvin Pittman will bowl in his young career. Coach John Archibald is up off the bench. He is out in front. He's trying to get some instructions, trying to get Devon Thomas's attention. The field placing is going to be important. I know for sure, that you must have your third man and your fine leg. I would have left
both of them up.
I would have left the fine leg because Pittman tends to push the ball
and
in that area.
He's had problems with his run up tonight, and he's changed ends. So this is going to be very, very interesting for the young man.
You want to take a bet?
I'll still back the batsman. That's cracked through the mid-wicket region. They take 1. They're looking for 2 as a fumble, and they get 2. Peters retains the strike. Big chance there to get him off the strike.
Pressure on Fernandez.
Definitely.
You got to keep the fundamentals. You got to keep your eyes on the ball. So you got a deep backward square leg, a mid-wicket, a long on, a long off, wide sweeper on the offside. Fine leg and third man inside the 30-yard circle. A backward point and a cover. Pittman.
6 to win of 5. Pittman in, and that one dot ball couldn't get under it. It was Orlando Peters, and fielded well by Pittman off his follow through. So dot ball 124 for 6.
Umpires are having a discussion as to whether that was a ball and caught or not, but I thought that bumped.
Yeah, it was definitely hit into the ground.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
There wasn't even any discussion.
Pittman didn't even appeal or anything. No. So 6 to win of 4. What a nail biter we have here, Coolidge, in the second semi-final.
Gavin Tongue, with his injured right hamstring, he's come out with some ice on it. He's trying to be able to motivate his team. Kelvin Pittman could be a hero tonight in Bethesda.
Pittman up to the wicket now. Swing and a miss by Peters. It's getting tougher and tougher by the ball.
This is a big over.
6 of 3.
This is a big over. This young man has stepped up in a very, very, very big way. He's keeping his composure. This is a big over. This could be the biggest over of his cricketing career here so far. The young 17-year-old from Antigua and Barbuda, Kelvin Pittman, who really should have got into the final West Indies under-19 squad. But tonight, he's representing his village, Caribbean Union Bethesda team.
Up is again, and this is hit into the onside. They come back for the second. The throw is wide. Fernandez again. That's 2 more to Peters. 4 to win. 2 deliveries remaining. 126 for 6.
Big over here by Kelvin Pittman. Very, very big over. The only issue we have in here is that Fernandez has just not been able to concentrate, because that's twice that he should have been able to have a good direct throw, at least to run out one of these batters.
The 4 runs off the over have come from him. Now they've made the switch. They've brought him into the circle on the offside.
I would have maybe put Naeem Young over there into that position, because he look at your shot. But Devon Thomas has taken the responsibilities and he has gone out there. 2 balls to go, Terry.
4 to win. Pittman into Peters, who drives in down the off. They're coming back for the second again. This time, not out. I don't think. The bounce. He had to take it high, did Benta.
Wow.
The bounce, it took off from the pitch.
But you realize what happened, right? It went to the level of Naeem Young, so he had to get there and get around the angle.
Right, yeah.
But this is a big over so far by Kelvin Pittman.
Big over. 128 for 6. 2 runs required. 1 delivery, 1 for a tie.
You want a sugar cake bet?
Super over.
Bethesda win by 1 run.
I'll still say Jennings by 4 wickets.
Bethesda winning by 1 run.
All right, here we go. Calvin Pittman.
Everybody on
bowling
their feet
his
here.
heart out. 2 to win, 1 to tie. He's in. A swing and a miss. They run through. Out.
What did I tell you?
Bethesda are home.
What did I tell you?
Bethesda are gone mad.
What did I tell you? The biggest over of his career.
They win by a run and make the 2022.
What did I tell you?
Cool and Smooth T20, and Vernon Springer, you're right again. And I'm telling you, I've got to meet your inside information. But what a win for Bethesda. They pulled it off. Everything went wrong with the bats. Jennings Tigers bowled a disciplined line and length to restrict them to 129.
How can Jennings lose this game?
And they were home and hosed, Jennings. They were home and hosed.
How is it possible? How can Jennings lose this game?
A remarkable fight
Terry.
back here by CUB, Bethesda Golden Eagles, and they've got home by a run out of the last ball. Darren Benta, it flew through to him. They took off. They had to run. One run would have tied the match, and he threw the stumps down from his keeping position. And they get home by 1. What a thriller.
Did I not call it right? I told
Vernon, I take my hat off. Well, I'm not wearing one, but if I was. brilliant game of cricket, though. Magnificent and great for the tournament, great for the fans, great for the game. And that sets up a hell of a final tomorrow night between two old rivals in CUB. Bethesda Golden Eagles will take on the defending champions, the undefeated Liberta Blackhawks here tomorrow night, and what a match we will have. But you've got to feel for Jennings. They had it in the bag, and the bag burst open, and they let it slip, Burnham.
This young man, Kelvin Pittman, we talked about him. He's
He
going to
held
go
his
places.
nerve. He did everything right.
He's going to go places. I wonder where Jack was.
Say a few words, Jack.
Jack is just. Jack said he was next door. Jack, was this the result that you were expecting, Jack?
No, I thought that Jennings Tigers had it all wrapped up. But it shows how the game of cricket can fluctuate.
It's the skill set, Jack. Because let's be rational. I was saying to Terry, you had 10 runs of 9 balls. When Jaime Africa came in, the first objective you got to be thinking about is to get a single. So there's no need for you to try to be hitting the ball in the air. Your job is to find a gap and get a single. Even when Paul Miller came in, I thought Jennings lost the game because the body language of Paul Miller when he came in, he just never looked like he was ready for the action. He got a half volley first up, and you could say he just left alone rather than just getting back on ball. And I think it put some pressure really on Orlando Peters.
Yeah, too much pressure was left on Orlando Peters. And in the end, he just could not carry them over the line. It's rather unfortunate because Jennings played good cricket right throughout. They came into this match unbeaten. They did very well to restrict the Eagles to 129, and really they should have carried it home. But as you said, the players, some panicked, some did not realize really what was
their responsibility.
Their responsibility. What really was required.
The skill set, Jack, of the game. You can't lose a game like that. It's just like basic. You're talking about just trying to get 10 singles, and you have to be able to be mindful as to what's happening. So while you're in the pavilion, you have to know that Jack and Vernon Springer and Terry are the weak feelers. So I know if I hit the ball to the left or to the right, that I'm going to get a one run, a single. And that to me is what is the game awareness. People not really paying attention to what's in front of them. But Jack, we have to talk about how well Kelvin Pittman bowled in that final over.
Yes, he was on target. He kept the ball just back of a length thereabout. He wasn't up in the arc of Orlando Peters. He wasn't short enough. So he kept a good length. He kept a good line. He had pace. And so he made it very, very difficult. It was a disciplined last over there by Kelvin Pittman. And he played a vital role in the outcome of this game. But what a cricket match we had. I really did not expect this. I expected them. At one point I was saying that they would win with overs to spare. Where the way Muncy was going and Orlando Peters came in to join him. But then Muncy got out and then panic really set in. As you said, they were short of the imagination. They were short of what was required, the responsibility, the discipline needed to carry them over the line. And they were really kicking themselves now because I think the consensus would be that Jennings deserved to get into the final based on what they had done before and based on the first half of the match. But then you have to complete the task, and they just did not.
Jack, what happens tomorrow? Less than 24 hours for as we say, Caribbean Union Bank Bethesda. They play the last game. They will more or less have a little time off, but the other game is 7 p.m. while Liberta would have played the first game, so they'll be pretty rested. But all in all, what do you think happens tomorrow?
I think it's going to be an emphatic Blackhawks victory again. I don't think that Bethesda playing good enough to really challenge them. They've had a wretched tournament. Really look at it. They've just managed to qualify for the semi-finals, winning just one match. They came into this game playing against Tigers 129, far from the desired total you would expect in a semi-final game. And they also would likely to be without Gavin Tong, so his experience will be missing tomorrow as well. I think it's a game for the Blackhawks to lose tomorrow, even without a ball being bowled. Because we're speaking on the eve of the match, so not one ball has been bowled as yet. But because of the way the Blackhawks have been playing, because of the composition of the side, and the fact that Bethesda Golden Eagles have really been short of their mark in terms of what we know they can do in the cricket game.
I think Naeem Young has been named the man of the match, Jack. You agree with that?
Kelvin Pittman?
Naeem Young has been named man of the match.
I'm not sure. Nobody from Bethesda really deserved to be man of the match when you really think of it.
But I think Pittman would have won.
Orlando Peters really should have been the man of the match, right? Really, yeah.
You mean for Jennings Tigers?
Really. Yeah. Orlando Peters really deserved to be man of the match. They should have really finished the match. That they really dominated. They dominated for the first half.
But I know you were talking about Caribbean Union, Bethesda, and maybe coming into the context that they maybe might not push Liberta. We didn't see a well informed Devon Thomas in this tournament so far. He looked a little bit below par. Even tonight, he just didn't look himself. I listened to you and Terry were talking that he sort of came out with a kind of approach as if like he wanted to spend some time out there. But I don't like when he's trying to spend time. I just want him to be Devon Thomas.
But you see, when he's Devon Thomas, he does rash things, and that's the problem. So he obviously went out on the instructions, probably from Coach John Archibald, to try and stay out in the middle. Don't worry about the power play. Then they sent Jamal Fernandez specifically to do that, and we saw him going over the top and so on. And they did have a good power play in the end because they got 47 runs from the first 6 overs.
Sure.
So they would have had that launching pad. But then Devon Thomas was still caught in two minds as to what approach should he adopt. And then eventually he decided to play cross one and skied it. So it wasn't the usual Devon Thomas. At that point, though, he should have been looking to play straight, because he can play straight and score runs. And then at the end now, when I'm saying at the end, in the middle overs now, once he's there now, he would have the ability to really hit those balls, play across the line of those deliveries and really hit them out of the park. But then I think he was trying to go too square with that particular delivery, and that's why he skied it. And he eventually he fell. But you're saying now that Devon Thomas hasn't really come to the party as yet, and tomorrow may well be his day or his night. We'll just have to. I want a good final. I really want a good final. I don't want them to come into this game with a really below par performance. You want a final that will really be fitting of a competition of this nature. And so you want the Eagles to really rise tomorrow, so the Blackhawks will have a fight.
So you heard it there from the man himself. Jack Terry wants to get in here and say a few words.
No, I just want to sign off by saying, because I'm 2 bets behind now, I'm back in Bethesda Golden Eagles, Jack. We're on Bethesda Golden Eagles tomorrow, regardless of what happens.
I know that the Blackhawks are favorites, and they're going to take... They're going to... It's going to require of the Eagles a tremendous effort to stop the Blackhawks, because they have so much variety, they have so much depth. And as we have seen during the competition, they have the ability to score 200 over 20 overs, and so they're gonna take a great effort from the Eagles.
Is confirmed.
Yes, 4:00 start tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we'll do, Jack, before we disappear out here, let me just give the fans an idea in terms of what's happening. The final set tomorrow for 7 p.m. We'll see the PIC Insurance Liberta Blackhawks taking on the Caribbean Union Bank Bethesda Golden Eagles at 7 p.m. So the third and fourth place game will be between Rising Sun Spartans and Jennings Tigers. My colleagues are leaving me. Caribbean Union Bank Bethesda Golden Eagles 129 for 8. Yeah, 129 for 8. Top scoring was Jamal Fernandez with 35. Next best was the captain Devon Thomas with 20. 18 from Gavin Tong, an injured Gavin Tong. 9 Young got 17. Darren Benton 19. Bowling for Jennings Tigers. You had Morton Brown with 4 overs, no maidens, 24 runs, 3 wickets. Jadesha Martin, 3 overs, no maidens, 26 runs, 2 wickets. And the other wicket takers was Orlando Peters, 4 not, 18-1. Paul Miller, 4 not, 25-1. By the time Jennings needed 130 for victory, they were left stranded by 1 run. Their captain, Orlando Peters, was not out on 38. George Munsey with 47. Kyle Cabey with 12. Adrian Barron with 21. And then we had Cameron Miller North, Jaime Africa North, Jadesha Martin run out for 2. It was all over by the shouting. In terms of the bowling for, as we would say, Caribbean Union Bank Bethesda Golden Eagles, we had Nordish Kaniji, 4 overs, no maidens, 14 runs, 2 well. Very impressive spell. Naim Young, 4 overs, no maidens, 21 runs, 2 wickets. Kelvin Pittman, 4 overs, no maidens, 25 runs, no wicket. Anthony Martin, 4 overs, no maidens, 24 runs, 1 wicket. And Sushant Modani, 4 overs, no maidens, 41 runs. On behalf of the entire team here, and want us to be able to take some time out, just want to be able to say thanks to the Community Sports Network team, CSN, a subsidiary of the Parish League. We want to say thanks to the folks who continue to make this happen. Remember, you can check them out on all of the social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and also CTTV Channel 8. You also had the Cool and Smooth YouTube page and all the social media platforms, and Platinum FM 97.9. On behalf of Terry LaRaja, you also had Nickel here. You also had Jack Matthew, and Matthew Ford was a special guest here. I am Vernon A. Springer, signing out and let you know that we'll be back on air tomorrow to bring you the 3rd and 4th place game, and then it will be the final of the Cool and Smooth T20 Explosion. Finally, let me just go through the sponsor list for you. Cool and Smooth would like to thank the major sponsors who have helped with this tournament so far: Pineapple Beach Club, Supreme Security, Kennedy's Club Limited, Stonewall Reloaded, ABCA, Images Design, Signs and Impressions, Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority, St. John's Development Corporation, Antigua and Barbuda Port Authority, Hadid Motors, APOA INET, Tropical Shipping, Cricket West Indies, Antigua and Barbuda Festivals Commission, and Global Bank of Commerce. I'm Vernon A. Springer, signing off here from Coolidge Cricket Ground for this semi-final action. It's final action tomorrow, right here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground on Saturday, 7th May 2022. Thanks very much for viewing and listening.